Hello and welcome everyone. Been a bit. And yeah, it's a lot going on. So it's time to do some stuff together. Well, not together, just, sit together, talk a bit, and have a good time while we hope that the world isn't going to even more shit as it is right now. So yeah, if you're in the USA, I hope you voted. I do hope you did that. Just to get the, annoying stuff out of the way. Otherwise, let's kill some shit.
We must hold the line, defend our objectives, and maintain control of the sectors.
Fuck.
Enemy forces have sent explosive charges. Enemy down!
Yeah, what's up, Ed? How are you doing? Welcome. How are you doing on this awful night? Us Europeans. The night of oh god, why? Yes, yes, okay.
We've disabled.
Oh, you don't.
Your ammo!
Okay, I mean, how are you doing on this very stressful night for us Europeans?
Hold on!
I mean, this is actually North Africa, so, you know. Ah,
Planted explosives.
oh, fuck. I mean, we all have to wait and see how America plays out today. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's a few million people in America, and even more a million people outside who are just like, oh god, don't fuck this up.
Enemy forces have destroyed Alpha objective.
Yeah, fair point. I mean, that's also to a degree why I play here, other than, you know, helping maybe some other people get their minds up. Why did it stop like that? Because I can play with the M1 Garand. A fun weapon.
Fall back! We've lost both objectives.
Eh,
Open. Return to the engagement.
fuck.
Hold the line. Enemy attack.
If there's a tank, I try.
Hostile at the end of the perimeter. Be ready.
Eh. So we don't have access to tanks right now, so shit. Yeah, honestly, I do hope they have some better, some more tanks, some more good tanks in the sequel. Well, the next one.
Hostile vehicle marked! 50 meters away from my position!
Yo. I mean, it's not like I'm running around with like a World War II weapon here. Who cares? Ukraine is using it, so it's still accurate. It is kind of funny though how, you know, 10 years ago, you know, you look at video games and stuff and they're like, ah, this is how, you know, this is how the warfare in the 2020s, like how the soldiers will look like, and you had like, you know, Battlefield 4 and Black Ops 2, like, you know, oh yeah, drones and all that futuristic weaponry and all that, and you know, then you look at Ukraine and it's like, it's AK-47s, Thompsons, Pipeshas. Well, they, with this event they unlocked it, and they were like, oh yeah, you can now play with an M1 Garand.
Enemy forces have set explosive charges.
Crossing! Reloading! Cover me!
I mean, just for some context, this is about, yeah.
Target is down!
I mean, let's just be real here. An M1 Garand would still be very viable nowadays. Fuck. There are a bunch of weird shits they do.
They've planted explosives.
Yeah.
Hostile
My
target
graphics.
disabled. Good work.
Honestly, I wonder what my great grandfather shot for a rifle. I mean, they probably planted Mauser shit back then, so that be that. But yeah, no, they added it because this quote-unquote mini event is themed around World War II. Yeah. And shit they did in World War II, so they changed up the 2 World War II maps they had in the game here. This is El Alamein, by the way, so yeah, North Africa.
Enemy charges have been defused.
Good.
Ejecting dosage!
Ah, fuck. But yeah, I mean, the M1 Garand was like a pretty big caliber. it's actually kind of interesting if you think about it, that now the USA basically is going back to a battle rifle. Technically now with armor-piercing rounds.
Enemy forces have set explosive charges.
It's debatable, but like, I said that before. If you know, fuck. If it turns out, you know, you need a higher caliber, then because you know the enemy starts wearing body armor more and such. One of the most logical things, like a lot of armies that you know can't afford to just be like, hey, here are a few billions to shell
All
out.
objectives have fallen. Fall back to the next sector.
Can I? Nah. You can't just shell out a few billions, so, you know, Swiss people develop a new gun for you. Like, you look at, you know, all the reserves of, you know, the good old, you know, the old NATO battle rifles, and the fact that
Enemy forces are coming for us.
I think 7.56 is still produced around in big amounts, and you're like, may not be armor piercing that much, but it will do the job, and then you just, you know, take out the old G3s and the old the FALs. Like, seriously, so many, like, there are so many, countries that probably still have massive stockpiles of them. I think Ukraine also has some. Like, yeah. Or, you know, the AK-74 was for,
Extracting stem!
how's it called? You know, so they had a more intermediate cartridge, so, you know, better controllable stuff and shit. And like, oh, hey, the armor just gets big again, maybe we should just revert to, you know, the battle rifle. Then again, it is actually kind of funny how to think about the fact that the AK-47 was not designed as a service rifle, which is just hilarious in hindsight. Oh well. I mean, the worst part is right now, you know what one of the worst parts is right now? That you don't really have any reliable source of anything. Like, oh well. Talking about guns, you know, I should first wrap up talking about guns. Like, it's actually kind of funny. When they developed the AK-47, yeah, they looked at the they looked, you know, at the SCP-44 and were like, this is good, but interestingly, the idea was that they tried to replace, you know, the Pepeshas with that. But importantly, they thought, oh yeah, you know, this is gonna be something for tank crews, something for, you know, tank crews and special, you know, commanders, special personnel, because isn't that how it's pronounced? Or am I just shit right now? God damn it, yeah, laugh at me. But the thing is, the thing was that they, how's it called? They thought of this as just, you know, a better SMG, you know, with a higher caliber, firing rate and such, and so, like, you know, let's just do this. Just sounds so funny. I mean, that's. I mean, yeah. It's basic. It's technically PPSH, but I think everyone called it Pepesha. So, you know, they tried to make it better SMG, and then they were like, yeah. So you know, we give that to tank crews and shit. Like you know, a few ones, and you know, everyone else. I would love to hear how you pronounce it then in Russian, because could at least try learning that pronunciation. So,
The enemy has armed their explosives. Bravo objective has been destroyed by the enemy. Fall back.
ah shit.
We have lost the battle.
But yeah, until they realized, oh no, maybe SKS, as you know, the main service rifle, is not the best. Like, yeah, everyone kind of realized very quickly, ooh, the assault rifle is probably the way to go, and not, you know, the semi-auto one. SK is a good one though. It's a good rifle though. Oh yeah. So Pepe Shay. I mean, well.
Let's get started.
Oh, with assault rifles. I guess we take one out then. Okay, I guess they want. Oh yeah, what? Seriously, like, kills with assault rifles, but don't add, you know, M2 carbine or STG-44 maybe? Maybe? They have them in here. Could have. But no. Slowly add this one down the line. Oh wait, isn't there also? Nope. Ah yeah, here. Ah. But yeah, that's a fun thing, honestly. But you never know, because you know basically everyone's during, you know, World War II learned, oh hey, you know, semi-automatic rifles are the way to go, and you know, only at the very end people realized, wait, the full auto one is actually working. I mean, actually, it's even funnier because basically before the war, every major nation was like, we should go for the semi-automatic rifles because, you know, that's useful. And you saw that with, you know, the Americans just basically pumping out M1 Garands by the minute. Kind of overkilled the whole war when they entered. But I think the funniest bit is when you're like, okay, why didn't the space with Rico when I tried to hit for a full auto, as I recall? Ironically, not really that much. Like, the thing is, European nations wanted to use an intermediate cartridge, but both Americans and I think also Soviets were in the beginning like, no, we need a big route, because, you know, for the Americans it was stopping power, okay? You need a big cartridge to have the adequate stopping power, else, no, doesn't work, period. So. And the funniest part about that is that then, you know, the European nations would be like, I guess, big bullet, like big American tank action. Yes, just imagine that, you know, Russian tank could actually. I try my very best. I'll try my very best.
Nearly every sector is under our control. Good work. Alpha sector has been seized by hostiles.
Oh yeah. By the way, Battle of the Bulge, as you saw. So, welcome to Belgium. I know, tanks are cruel. Almost feels like we should ask Ruben to stream War Thunder again. That was actually fun to do. Hey! Who goes there? So by the way, as you can see, those are not the normal maps. They reworked them to be more Halloween-esque. Explosions are happening. Hey, yeah. Good. What kind of explosions are happening, and where, and are you safe? Is the question. Are you in the fucking church, mate? I can't go in. Where are you? Show yourself. I'm just a tiny tank. I can't hurt you that much. Come out. Hey, run away. Only big explosions happening here. Aha. Oi! Oi!
Alpha sector under control. We are in control of nearly all sectors.
Shit. Yeah, no, what I want to point out is that, it was kind of funny that, you know, when you're like, oh, hey, why didn't the Germans have a semi-automatic rifle? And the answer is, ironically, very, very funny because, well, yeah, technically, there were bigger helicopters before, but now everyone is using the Black Hawk, ironically, even on the Russian side. I wish I had an equivalent, but you know what? At least it's the Black Hawk. I like the Black Hawk. Black Hawk is actually good. Nope, you're not shooting at me. So someone spawn on me, please. Then we can get some people into. Heyo, do you have some? Nah. Why is no one spawning? I mean, not even flying like ass. Hello, team? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone here? Help! Oui. I'm like doing a chopper gunner run a la Call of Duty.
They've captured Bravo sector.
No one! Really? No one!
Stop the US
It's
forces
lovely.
conquering every sector.
Ooh, I wonder if... Oh, I wonder if that barn is becoming something for breakthrough. Ooh, that would be cool, actually. Ooh. Ooh, I would love that. Ayo, can someone please join? I have two unmanned miniguns. Yeah, for some reason no one joins. Like they can spawn on me. Spawn on me. Rain hell down. There aren't even jets on this map. We have air superiority. I feel distinctly stupid. Like it's what why? Yes, thank you, Yankee. Cool. Someone wanted to finally do shit. Okay.
We've secured Delta sector. One of our objectives is under attack.
God damn it. Why no one spawn on me? Why no one spawn on me? Honestly, I kind of wish I could do probably a bit more openly, or you better talk about the, you know, the ongoing American Hellscape election. But you know what? It's hard actually. You know, 4 years ago, and for like I remember the last 3 ones or so. You know, you could go on Twitter, you could go into the trends, and you could get a relatively accurate picture of what was going on. Like, 2016 was desperation in real time, but, you know, at least it was accurate desperation in real time. Now you go online and literally fucking pro-Trump spam bots everywhere, and you're like, holy shit, this is so bad right now. Elon just fucked the site to hell and back. You know what? If anyone wants it, I'm parking it right here. Perfect. See? It's safe here. No one wanted them. There you go. Stay safe. This was some of the most successful flying I have ever done in my life in this series. Didn't shoot anything because, again, no one joined, else we could have, you know, rained fire, which is the whole point of, you know, the Black Hawk. And I truly hope the Black Hawk is in the next game. I mean, you're like, oh, but the Black Hawk is so old. Like, it still works. Who cares?
Reinforcement numbers are falling.
But yeah, now today you can actually go, like, I know some of the people I follow, and I also know, like, they were like, yep, I did my job, and I know they probably voted for, you know, they didn't vote red for obvious reasons,
Sector is under our control.
because they're not, you know, Republicans. I mean, okay, it would be fucking weird to wake up and hear Zep say he voted Trump. because he would never. Or Patrick for that matter. Those two wouldn't. No.
American forces will
Okay, honestly, I would probably lose a lot of faith in humanity if that ever happened. They needed to. Talking about the devil. Hello, Zep. I was no, you know, this was pro you, okay? I said it like I wanted to say hell would freeze over. You had to have like a really good explanation if you did that. Again, I said I would lose my faith in humanity if that happened. So, you know.
Enemy tank! Rocketted! Not far from me!
God, no. Fuck. But yeah, right now it is hard to actually come by any substantial stuff. Okay, we need some assault rifle action. What do you know what? I already did all the main ones, so if you want, just choose a vault one that looks fun to you, and I will use it. Ah, yes. You went out and stole the vote, as a good leftist would do. You just vote 10 times. That's your right. So yeah, we could do M16, A3, ACWR, A91, M416, MTAR-21, or the AK-971. Which one should we use? It's your choice. Just spam chat. Most of earliest wins. How very American of you. Okay, do they have new? No. Nothing new here. Go.
Take some supplies!
I just wish they would have some more, you know, visual stuff for that one as well. Ah, fuck.
We have superiority in this battle. Make sure we maintain it.
But yeah, as I said, it's just really hard finding any good information right now because yeah, Elon kind of fucked the main information site so hard. I heard though that, yeah. Better than, you know, apparently it looks worse, it looks worse for the, you know, the Red Party than, what, you know, not the good Red Party, the shitty Red Party in the USA. It looks worse for them than, you know, a lot predicted. So who knows? I don't know, probably is a close race in the end, sadly, so that's gonna be annoying that we have to deal with that. But we'll see. From what I saw, Pennsylvania and Philadelphia is apparently just they overrun the. But yeah, we'll see.
Initiating assault on Delta 1.
They've taken Alpha Sector.
Our enemy controls the battlefield. They have conquered more sectors.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? I have a feeling that, you know, if the whole win actually goes to Harris, definitely also has a large parts to do with.
They fully occupy Charlie Sector.
Oh boy, that would be bad. But yeah, you know that I feel like it's gonna be a thing with. It definitely also came down to Tim Walz, because I feel like what a lot of people forget is that, you know, yeah, Trump like was loud this one, but they really you know, didn't strengthen, quote unquote, the potential voter base. Like they were just
One of our
Oh,
objectives is
fuck.
under attack.
like, I think a lot of people underestimate how much people started to hate Trump over the last years. Like everything, you know, from COVID and, you know, the constant fear mongering, everything. I don't think, you know. I mean, usually official stuff is, you know, it's still kind of wild how you sometimes take so long, but
Our strategy is working. We now
Yeah.
control more sectors than the enemy.
I don't know. This is mostly just, you know, sitting together and talking. If you want to, by the way, join, just say it. We have room in the squad, we have room in the Discord, we can use every kind of distraction that's that we can, I'd say, because we have no influence on that. We just know, you know, if you know, if Harris wins, we have a chance. If Trump wins, the next 4 years are going to be like, I don't know, even going to be 4 years. I mean, it could get worse actually. So who knows? Oh yeah. And honestly, considering that I also hear that like a lot of women are now, you know, voting for the first time, it does feel a lot like they you know, the Republicans really pissed people off with, you know, abortion rights and shit. I really hope that is the case. Okay.
Well done. We have secured almost every sector.
It's like, yeah. I just hope it's gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be Trump again. But yeah, I feel like they definitely pissed more people off than people expected, and yeah, if you're saying high voter turnout, like, I think, you know, against Biden, it was, I know back when, you know, Biden was elected, it was already, you know, oh hey, high, big highs, but I feel like the fact that, yeah, like,
Our forces are at half strength.
I feel like there might definitely be a thing that, you know, what definitely happens is that depending on where you live, that probably a lot will probably vote Democrat without, you know, telling anyone they did, because, as said, the Republicans have been so shitty on, you know, stuff like abortion rights and shit. They definitely lost a lot of people, and like,
Extracting stem!
I mean, one of the most obvious things is women are like a big proportion of the I mean, yes, I could be very, very blunt. Like, that's probably why a lot of conservatives don't want women to vote again, because they get to just strip, you know, laws, rights, and they can't do anything against that. And right now, I tell you, probably a lot of women are pissed and are voting Harris just because it's not that, you know. Oh god, wait, why is this server so empty? What?
hold more sectors perhaps. We must alter our strategy.
I think I'm leaving this round though. It's not filled up with bots. It's not anything. I don't think I was like there's nothing going on. Usually this map isn't this empty. And yeah. Let's take a new one. Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm generally just I think everyone is probably a bit just how's it called? Nervous about everything. I mean, rightfully, I'd say. Also, you killed your elephant. Just wanted to point that out. You really killed an elephant called Kamala like 1 day before the election. You don't think that is bad karma?
Maria Falk reporting for duty.
Hey, look, she was suffering and not in good health. Oh yeah, can you say? And what if Harris loses the vote, like the election? What are you Washington people going like? Look, Kamala was suffering and not in good health, and so you. Okay, yeah, I should stop this. That would be something, you know. You lose an election in the USA, you just get euthanized. No more runs at life. That's it for you. It would, okay, honestly, that would make it kind of would really sort the potential people out that would run. Like imagine if you can't run unscathed. It's just like, hey, you either win or you die. There's nothing else. How about that for fixing elections? If Harris loses, we are putting her in the zoo to replace him. And here you can see the candidate that almost... Honestly, maybe we should stop with the evil jokes, but on the other hand, evil jokes! Woo! But yeah. As said, if you want to join the talk, just say. It depends on how you're feeling and such.
Alpha objective secured by us.
Friendly forces targeting Alpha 1. Alpha sector now secure.
Enemy air support! 250 meters!
Oh well.
We'll need to recapture it. One of our objectives is being invaded.
Ooh. Unsurprising, but ooh. Yeah. I'm not surprised that you all boarded your city up. It like again, you know what? Again, do you want to join and maybe talk about everything, the election shit on stream, so we can just cope together? What the fuck? What did he just yeet an RPG in my face?
Sector is under U.S. control.
But yeah, it's gonna be a bit of an ugly time for Washington DC.
American forces will take every sector if they are not stopped.
Especially when, it gets clear, Harris won. Like, the Republicans are not going to let this be,
We don't have time for this! Be careful!
Oh yeah, sure. It's just chatting, It's probably a bit more useful to have someone talk together. That's a bit more interesting, I'd say. Let's do this then. Blaž, you have to go, sadly. We have some talk to do. Hello, Zep.
Hello.
Welcome to the...
So I'm replacing Blaž.
You're replacing Blaž. Blaž gave us... I can bring Blaž back. You know what? Let's bring Blaž back, because I think today we all need some Blaž support. Blaž support is as vital as it could not be. Usually Blaž supports when there's spooky stuff, but today is peak spooky. The whole fate of a country rests on the shoulders of votes.
Oh, speaking of peak spooky, one of the people in my neighborhood still have some of their Halloween stuff set up. I love it. I love what they did. I hadn't seen their house until today. They have a whole bunch. They have the tiny little soccer nets and some lawn chairs and some other stuff on their lawn, and everywhere along those they have skeletons. They've got skeletons in the lawn chairs. They've got skeletons playing soccer. It's hilarious and beautiful. I love it.
That is really great. Yeah, I totally see that. That's great. The best we had here in this apartment building was there was one pumpkin, and it's currently shriveling in the entranceway.
We're dominating the battlefield.
October passed, and all the spooky energy left. Couldn't hold itself anymore. That's it. The clock strikes midnight, and Mariah Carey is just thawing up.
Oh, you see, here's the thing. We need Mariah Carey to thaw out because we need protection. So we need two other things in addition to Mariah Carey. She needs to thaw out so that she can protect us from Padaru.
Oh, you mean it's a showdown between Mariah Carey and Padaru?
Yes, but we also need Mariah Carey and Padaru's kaiju battle to happen so that Michael Bublé can be summoned from the void and guard us from all the collateral damage of that.
Ah, yes. That actually makes 100% sense.
It's the holy winter trifecta. Padaru, Mariah Carey, and Michael Bublé.
You know what? I kind of love how Christmas lore just keeps evolving. A few decades ago, it was just snow falls, you put up a tree, you put out some cookies and some warm milk, then Santa Claus comes and, gives you presents. Before that, it was just the Holy Spirit or some shit. And now it's okay, we need those entities defrosted right after Halloween so they can combat evil. Oh god,
Look, Padaru has been trying. The Christmas Saber has been trying to defrost herself since August. Okay, that is. There is a SCP on the loose now. Okay, multiple actually. Mariah Carey is one of them.
Mariah Carey is an SCP. That actually makes sense. She only shows up like once a year, and right at a specific time. Okay, honestly, the funniest bit I saw this year was that probably because of some negligence or so, but like at our local, I checked by the way, at our local Aldi, there is still Easter, an Easter ad. They just never took it down, which makes it even funnier.
They're getting ready for Easter for next year.
I guess so. Like, you know, after Easter is before Easter. You know, there's nothing in between. All hail the bunny.
Invading one of our objectives.
Yeah. Anyways, I am looking forward to seeing all of the crazy Christmas, like, decorations that people are going to make. I have a feeling that there's going to be quite the creativity for it. Just because I feel like in times of in troubling times is when people get most creative.
Yeah, fair. I mean, it's, you know what, I also have to say, just with age, like, I know I had my time of, oh no, you know, Christmas, is that really that relevant? Yada yada, and the older I get, I was like, Christmas is nice, I'm gonna make some really nice food, I'm gonna have some good time, I'm gonna chill.
Yeah, so I have a message to everyone who is a naysayer about Christmas and all these fake holidays and stuff like that.
They're all fake. There is no.
Yeah,
there
is no real. Fake. Give up on your freaking anti-fun feeling.
Like, it's just
just enjoy times when we are socially and culturally designating. Just have fun for no reason at all.
It's like, look, outside it sucks. Okay, it's cold. It's just not nice. Okay, so what are you doing? You go inside. You have good food. You have warm drinks, and you just, you know, enjoy time with people. You play video games, and then you know, why is it like? How can you not enjoy, like, how can you not enjoy a holiday that is about, you know, oh, you get a present, and you're like, oh, but you know, it's commercialized to hell and back, just so you know they can sell more toys and shit. Like, you know what? I don't care. If it's once per year and someone gives me money or some other fun stuff I can use, I'm down with that, okay? I'm down with that. That's fun. Also, just
half of the battle of accepting the capitalist hellscape is to at least have some fun.
Also, can I say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism did those two good things: Halloween and Christmas. And now probably people are like, why would that be the thing? See, Halloween was just kind of a, you know, it was like a holiday once, but you know, they both were religious and not really a thing, okay? And now
also,
Halloween
was dying out.
Yeah, but also
it was a dying tradition and dying holiday, and then corporations and then the cocoa corporations and so on.
Yeah, they were just like, let's sell more candy. But also, the thing is, what I find more important is when you're like, oh, but they commercialized Christmas. Yeah. And what is Christmas otherwise? You go to the fucking church and you pray, and that's like, the thing is, the more commercialized it became, the more secular it became. And honestly, I'd rather have a secular Christmas where I just, you know, sit around the tree with people I like and we share some gifts. We have like a good fucking Christmas dinner, and it's just like those, you know, those are traditions that you can enjoy. Okay, actually,
my argument is, would you rather sit in a church service for 3 hours, or maybe make that a 1 hour thing, or even if it's still a 3 hour service, or you get French toast in the morning, or you get pancakes in the morning, or you get gifts, or even if you're not getting gifts, you just get kind of the what's the word? It's like when it's the hive mind for society, like that, basically, where you just feel good because special holiday. And if you feel terrible, go talk to people, please.
Yeah, and
you
like
are doing yourself a disservice by not talking to people on Christmas.
I mean, that's also the thing. Like, what I would want to point out is, like, again, Christmas now is just, you know, it's so secular. You can invite everyone. It's like everyone does it because everyone can just. It's like, yeah, it's just you do it then. And like, sure, in some parts of the world you can be like, well, in Australia it's just warm and shit, but still a bit off. But like,
Identified a new objective.
If you're in Australia, dress up as bikini Santa. There you go.
okay, honestly, I need to say one thing. Like if you live in Australia, do yourself a favor and like experience Christmas once in Germany, because you will understand so much more why we do this shit. Because here's the thing. Like, winter sucks. It's cold, it's snowy, but you know what doesn't suck? You go to a Christmas market, and then you have Glühwein, and you have like, Lebkuchen, and all the shit that makes you like. Why do you think we exclusively eat all the nice pastry and candy that like we literally are like, holy shit, this is so good, why are we not eating this year round? Because when we eat it in the winter, when we are all depressed, it makes us undepressed. Have you eaten Spekulatius? It is so fucking delicious. It's like the best cookie out there.
So my argument, my side of this, go to New York, so Brooklyn specifically,
Yeah?
go to Salt Lake City, Utah, go see what the Mormons do, because the Mormons get up to some wild stuff on Christmas. They like to light stuff up, trust me. You go to Vegas. Vegas likes to do stuff.
Enemy helicopter! What, 10 meters away?
And like, if you want to see like things lit up and elaborate and fancy and cool, come to America, visit all these places. We have them all over the place. There are insane people making insane builds for Christmas all over the place. And you can't, not all of them are going to be online. Like, get off Twitter, get off your like social media, and go actually see the places, because many of them go unnoticed when you're staring at your phone.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, that Christmas was good. I really like that, and it just the older I got, the more it's just like have something good for Christmas dinner. Like I know that in Germany the Christmas dinner traditions are probably a bit weirder. I mean, I think in America you do like, okay, wait, you also have your Thanksgiving shit, but what's like a typical American Christmas dinner?
It varies. It's more of a. It kind of changes based off of your regions.
Oh, yeah, I mean, just like, what are some general ones? That's more the question.
Yeah. So for our dinners, a lot of it is like mashed potatoes, casseroles, ham, prime rib.
So
Sometimes it's turkey, and roast beef is not as common, but we do it sometimes. Cream spinach, gingerbread, obviously.
Yeah,
eggnog is a big one. But we love our casseroles on Christmas.
Yeah, we have also some
pies.
Casseroles are good. Like, I mean, it's like also they're just cheap to make. Like you just put something in the oven, like boom, done.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I have the. There are only 2 times in a year where I allow myself to make this, because I know that if I made those, I'd gain like 100 pounds. I'm not joking. I make this my family and I make this sweet potato casserole. It's mashed sweet potatoes mixed with some brown sugar, and we put pecans on top. And I could have that. One year, so I think 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a bit longer. Actually, it might be 8 years at this point. We made one massive batch of it, Not many people ate it. I was really the only one that ate it that year.
So you had a lot.
And I had a lot left over. I, no joke, ate that twice a day
Is our next target.
for the next 4 days until it
Damn.
ran out.
Damn.
I would probably eat that
Sounds delicious
almost
as well.
daily. It is so good. I can send you the recipe.
Actually, that,
The recipe that I use, actually, I cut the sugar in half and changed the sugar to
Yeah.
brown sugar.
Forces are all Bravo.
Because sweet potato already has so many sugars in it, and the pecan are the
I mean-
flavor.
I get it. Like, I mean, okay. I also today I made one thing I like to do. It's mashed potatoes with pumpkin. It's so good. Like, it's so delicious. Actually, like, you know what? Mashed potatoes themselves, good. Mashed potatoes when you do put something else in it, better. I cannot stress that.
You know what I learned recently that people like to put on their sweet potato casseroles? They like to put marshmallows on top. I see it, but also
Yeah.
it's. I feel like people are missing out on the deliciousness that are pecans. Pecans
It's
are the
like-
best nut.
It's like
They're the best nut.
it's like, you would add more sugar to sweet shit, and like I think that gets overkill. While pecans is like, yeah, that's a good nut. That would balance it out more. Give a bit more variety, I'd say.
Yeah.
I need to just be a bit more aware because, as you know, Agonia has textures problems with food. So, but yeah.
Yeah, pecans are so as a textures person as well, and certainly not to her level. I think
Yeah.
I like pecans because they're kind of they've got like a little bit of crunch, similar in some ways to panko, but they're not like rough, and they're not hard.
Well, I have to check that out then. Sounds like a good recipe, honestly.
So, I would recommend. So, one thing that I like to snack on alone is candied pecans. So it's like a pecan with like a caramelized, sugary, almost caramelized sugar coating on it. Those are
The enemy is
hard.
sectors
So,
of
like,
the rapid base.
pecans are a
They now
softer
hold more
nut.
than us.
kind of like
Control Alpha sector.
not quite as hard as cashews, but a little bit softer than that. And so that adds a little bit of like solidity and texture to the mashed sweet potatoes. So if you don't like mashed potatoes, it might also not be the sweet potato casserole might not necessarily be for you, although it's a bit thicker than mashed potatoes.
Northwest!
Oh well.
Because sweet potatoes / yams have a bit more, they're more fibrous than potatoes are. But yeah, that's generally the traditional dinners that we have here.
Oh wow. Neat. I mean, you wanna know what's one of the traditional German dinners for Christmas?
Sure.
Potato salad with sausages.
I can see that.
It's okay. Here's the thing. I have a problem with that because okay. By the way, not bratwurst, but like Wiener sausages, like the thin
yeah.
ones. So like honestly, that's a good combination. By the way, not the mayonnaise ones because the mayonnaise based potato salad, the vinegar based ones are usually the ones that get. It depends where you are. North Germany is mayonnaise based. In Southern is more vinaigrette based. But yeah, the thing is, vinegar broth stuff. So, yeah, honestly, it's like yeah, that's such a simple and good worker's dish, and I love it. And it's like, yeah, you can eat that. Like a good potato salad is like you can eat it alone. You just need. I think a good potato salad is almost a full meal. You just need something, solid on the side, which the sausages do that, and you're like, yeah, that is nice. But I kind of have a problem because like, is that it's not really that Christmas fitting, even though it's a fucking good dish.
Add gravy, and then you've got it.
I mean, you don't put gravy on the potato salad. It's cold, so
You can add some gravy onto that.
fair point actually. Yeah. Then I mean,
Yeah.
the gravy dish we do here is what's Gans in English? It's the quacking one with like the long neck.
Duck?
Not duck. I mean,
Oh,
some eat
goose?
duck, but the bigger one. Goose, yes.
Goose?
Goose.
Yeah.
They eat goose. Goose is like the goose with dumplings.
I see the appeal. Like I understand. So I understand the appeal, but I don't really like gamey food.
Yeah, I mean that like goose and duck with
Yeah.
and so that's like also the more classic one, and then served with red cabbage, like cooked red cabbage, which is fucking delicious. Honestly, I love red cabbage. I know Agonia doesn't like it, but I will always sneak red cabbage into our Christmas dinner, even if it's just for myself, because fuck yeah, I am addicted to
I
that
see
shit.
it.
But
My cousins are the same. They are very addicted to red cabbage, and I can't recall a single Christmas dinner where we have had
red cabbage.
red cabbage when they were cooking, at least.
Yeah. I wonder how you do that, how it's prepared in America, but yeah. Yeah, it's like such a staple with apples and shit. That's like, it's so good.
I think they pickle it a little bit, and
Yeah, it's a bit pickled and then, cooked with grated apples. Ooh. Nice.
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly how we do it because I don't cook it myself. But we have it.
Yay. I just fucking love it, actually. Like, yeah, I'm maybe a bit weird and addicted, but who doesn't have a food they are really addicted to? Like, I know, for example, if I started cooking, my curry recipe again, Agonia would be like very, very happy and eat a lot because she likes that. Sorry. It's food is good. Food is good.
Well, now you've said it, so.
I should have done it a while ago, but like it's a lot of work because I usually also fry cutlets with it, and that's just it's sometimes just a lot of work, and we'll see. I'm doing a lot of I'm just doing lots of soups.
There's a new grocer that I'm going to. The grocer itself isn't new, but we've basically we're kind of phasing out our old grocery store because it's just not as good anymore.
Yeah.
This place that when I went there to go, I bought some cordon bleu, and they were nice, thick, and heavy ones too, like very good. They actually surprised me because they had some of the most delicious looking schnitzels that I've seen. Yeah, pork schnitzels looked absolutely delicious. Really, it was really tempting me.
Yeah, here's more like I usually do chicken ones because yeah, I know it's usually done with pork and beef, but and I did that. Like, it's not that but I just, I just realized that cooking curry is faster and more convenient if I just use chicken or turkey actually, and similarly to the cutlets, because I think chicken katsu actually,
Strategy is working.
again, first of all, easier to cook, easier to prepare, and just easier to eat, and you can marinate it really, really well, and like, you know, it tastes even better. Yeah. Oh well. Also, apparently, my fucking PC is currently very much. Apparently in Iowa, women are outvoting men by 10%.
Oh yeah, the Iowa stuff going on. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Yeah, they fucked up. They fucked up. It's like, yeah.
For context, Iowa is considered a Republican bastion.
Yeah.
Like they, when was the last time they voted? Literally the first search question, when was the last time Iowa, and then voted blue. Last time, what?
Ooh.
Let's see.
I just shot someone out of a helicopter. Yay.
Oh, nice.
With the M16 as well, so USA. USA.
Looks like it was for Obama's first election.
Oh, Obama. Yeah, okay. Obama was like, from what I know, from what I remember, it was like quite a decisive win.
Oh yeah, well, so in the first place, Obama never really ran against. The only time that Obama ran against someone who was actually a serious contender
McCain.
against him was McCain.
Yeah, and like I saw like a bunch of ex-Republicans tweeting that it was over after McCain for them, and yeah, he was probably like the last chance they ever had to be not shit. I think also what a lot ignore is that like a lot of conservative parties usually run on the fact that they appeal to a lot of emotions. Okay. What the fuck? Sorry. Like, for example, here in Germany, and they probably are doing election fraud there as well, so just pointing that out.
Enemy air support.
Bavaria has its own party, and it just, keeps winning elections there to do, but they keep losing the foothold they had, because the current one, is very, very unpopular, the current leader, but also, I think one of the big things they kind of forget is that, conservative rule, like in certain areas, is usually because they can hook onto certain, local cultures, Like, the thing is, a lot of people vote emotionally. Like, if you, for example,
So voting is in the masses of voting is often reactionary.
Yeah,
rather than,
and I think a big part why I think it will be very close, and even especially in red states, is the fact that the Republicans in becoming more and more aggressive, because that is what the loudest part of their base said. They kind of undermined the fact that a lot of people in voted Republican, I think, in a lot of states, because as long as it didn't affect them, it was more of a, I just feel they represent me better. This is why, they usually go, a lot of them went after, values, and hey, I am standing in for a right to defend yourself, or, I go hunting and stuff. Shit like that. The Midwestern attitude, I'd say,
I think there's a bit more clarity that needs to be given to that attitude. Because it's not necessarily just a
Yeah, no, that it's not.
Oh, it's the conservative showboating because they see through that.
To a degree,
The
yeah, I
reason,
know.
The reason why a lot of them vote in that direction tends to be more aligned with the fact that they are aware that conservatives are going to be more resistant to changes, and so they believe that having that resistance to change without like overpowering it is good for political environments, so that you don't have too much change going on all at once.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say a lot.
That's
It's
the
just
measured pace that they have.
I'd say there's a lot going on, but like I'd say one of the big things that happened is that well, the last 4 years the Republicans changed a lot. Actually,
Yep.
the thing is, most legislative big, big deep cutting ones were the conservatives, which is like the irony that which is the irony that now they're running with Harris and Waltz kind of ironically represents to a degree what the Republicans were saying. Like he's obviously saying, hey, we want to solve child's, but like he's more like you should. He's more like I want to do legislature that you don't need to worry about anymore. Like you don't need to worry that your child goes hungry. You don't need to worry that the schools are closed. And also he's like, I mean, he's running around with a fucking hunting cap as his merch. It's like you know who he's trying like who he's supposed to appeal to. And also, let's just be real here, the last 4 and longer years have been absolutely fucked. They sucked. And to a degree, I think what a lot of people misunderstand is that yes, there is this idea of in times of troubles that this idea of a quote-unquote strong man gets more appealing. But I do think it also depends how that is represented. Like, if you look at, for example, Trump, he's not really a strong man. He's like really just shouting a lot of times, and he has shown he doesn't intend to fix things. He's just intent of clamping down on everyone who opposes him, and usually probably more lining his coffers because, as you said once, we all know he wants to be called Don because he thinks of himself as a mafia boss. Meanwhile, Waltz is way more appealing to many because, like, every time there's a quote-unquote scandal about him, it's like, oh shit, look, the guy had empathy and it worked out. Like, it's like, oh hey, he brought the sports team into the a school sports team into the Prime League. Oh look, that one student of his had an alcohol and crime problem. He told him to, keep doing sports, and because that fixed his life and turned it around and helped him, finish school.
The thing I remember about that news bit was when doctors came out and said, no, this is actually the right call because exercise and athleticism create, biologically, exercise and athleticism is the best way to combat things like alcohol abuse, depression, and other mental health issues.
Also, routine
I
and
am
positive
not joking.
reinforcement. Like, if you have a certain routine, you have exercise, and you win, like, that helps a lot. And it's so funny how, oh look, he told someone who was almost, a big criminal to keep doing sports, and as if that was the scandal and not that Waltz was like, buddy, you have to turn your life around. And like, why are they keep doing fucking advertisement for him? It's like, obviously that guy is appealing because he's like,
He's America's grandpa.
He's a dad, He is a literal dad and not, the way of... And not only in the sense of, he is one. He's like... he has, the... how's it called? He's kind of a platonic embodiment. He shows empathy. He's like... he's stern when he needs to, but, it's there, because he's like, I want to... be clear that I want to make sure that everything goes well, and you're like, how can you not like the guy? And I think one of the funniest bits I saw was that the NRA tried to smear him, like, look how he handles this shotgun. He clearly has always used the gun, and then people were like, yeah, but if you look at the whole video and didn't cut out the beginning, he literally said, oh, he wanted to unload the gun, I think, without cycling it.
Oh, yeah, no.
And like,
Yeah,
yeah, it
so
looked
he
a
would
bit weird because
safely-
that's how you do it.
He was safely removing cartridges from the gun without firing it, and the people at the NRA's media department do not seemingly understand a way to do that does not involve firing the gun. Because for people in that line of life, quite literally, any bullet that goes in your gun is only going out the barrel. And that's the sad truth of it all. Because these people don't know how to... Here's a good way to put it. They expense the cost of their guns, not by the bullet, but by the magazine.
Wow.
And I say this with the caveat, the fact is it's relevant because ammunition is fucking expensive.
It is.
If you're a gun owner, ammunition is ammunition is the most expensive part of owning a gun. Not the actual guns that you buy, not the licenses or any of the other like stuff that you need to take care of. That's all pittance. It's the ammunition.
Yeah, like, it's similar with a car.
Expensive.
Like, yeah, the car is expensive, but if it was just that, you bought it once and you'd be over with it. No, you have to refill it constantly. And yeah, that's just like, it's expensive. Even though, you know, some are just not, you know, by the bullet, not that expensive, but it adds up. It adds up.
Oh, yeah. And especially the ones that are, like, smaller or cheaper ammunition. It's not the individual munition that's costly, exactly. It's the amount of ammunition, because those ones, they eat a lot of ammunition.
That reminds me of that one video where someone, like some small company rigged together like 4 miniguns in like like around the seat, and you could fire them all at once. It's like, yeah, you know what? It's the get poor gun.
Oh, well, speaking of, there's in Risk of Rain 2, the Kickstarter weapon is it's a use item that no one ever uses because and it was basically they added it to the game because of all the Kickstarters. They reached the goal, and so it's free for everybody. It's called the Crowdfunder.
Okay.
And Dragonia will know this.
Okay.
Well, probably, but the Crowdfunder is quite literally a equipment item that every shot that it fires costs you 1 coin in the game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it's a minigun.
I guess
You're
why
weakening
no one.
yourself in order to fire the gun, and it doesn't do all that much damage
Yeah.
comparatively.
I mean, I don't play, as you know, I didn't play that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it. Ooh!
Super!
Sorry, just had a good tank shot. So yeah, I get why no one uses that equipment in Risk of Rain 2. That definitely sounds like not that pleasant. I also I think I somewhere read they are still fixing the expansions.
Oh yeah, so they had a community post, like I want to say yesterday, where they mentioned what they were like. They gave basically a roadmap for how they were going to address and improve the DLC.
Okay. So right now it's not recommended to buy it.
I mean, so I have my own personal stance on this concept, which is basically that is not really a relevant question in any case. But to like go along with the question, basically,
This machine won't last!
right now the DLC is acceptable,
Ah, okay.
but they are holding things to a higher standard, and that is why I would say if you don't want to play it at this current stage, or at a stage where things are going to get changed, then I'd say hold off.
So you mean it's more, it's a serviceable thing, good, and they probably do something. What do these boxes
Yeah,
do?
as it is, it's fine. But it can be a lot better, and it's not the same quality level that previous ones were, which is why I kind of like have these little things that I'm mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not in a perfect state, but it's still in a good state. Like it's a solid expansion. It's just that I do also still just have that one caveat of like there are some very specific things that are not good right now. They're manageable, but not good, and like you can avoid them. So yeah. But it's perfectly reasonable to hold off. I don't know if they're going to have a sale when they do their final update, because the roadmap is a 3-part roadmap.
Update now.
Yeah. So first
Yeah.
they're fixing items, and then they're fixing other stuff.
Well, you have to wait and see then. I mean, I feel like right now a lot of games just have problems.
Yeah, there seems to be a
I
mass
wonder.
thing going on.
I really wonder why. Like, I mean, for example, yesterday we streamed the Anna Cruises because that's like, oh yeah, if you're interested in like Left 4 Dead style games, it's insanely cheap right now, like $2.50 or so, I think. So like, yeah, it's
We are losing the battle.
if you kind of like those kinds of games, and it's from one of the original Left 4 Dead makers. It's neat, it's fun. It needs definitely more work, and I think overall Back 4 Blood is still like the best one of those, spiritual successor trilogies trio right now, but not trilogy, but a trio. But it's good, and yeah, for $2, like you can't say no, I'd say. But I feel like, yeah, a lot of games just have problems, and it's weird. I don't get it. I really do not know why. Like, I feel like the only game right now that is just running mostly, except we have some loading issues, as we're playing through Metaphor right now. And that game is, let's just put it like this: they go all in on art style, and technically the the graphics quality isn't that good, but it runs perfectly fine. It has barely any loading times, and stuff like that. And like, yeah,
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Metaphor, and I've seen good stuff too. Looks like a solid game.
Yeah. That's also why I kind of hope, for example, that with the next Battlefield title, they just stay at the same graphics level and maybe improve the fucking performance. I mean, apparently the Veilguard, Dragon Age, is apparently also running just really well, and it's like actually good, well optimized. But yeah, I think more interestingly, it's just that like so many games, like, oh yeah, we also played. We played the Ones of the Wilds beta, and it's just so weird. Like it's oh yeah, frame pacing issues on PS5 and optimization. Like on PC, I noticed that it wasn't running perfectly, and didn't know I have a beefy PC actually.
Yeah.
Like, hello, give me that dog tag. It's a whole thing right now, and I'm like, okay. I mean, okay, also the weirdest parts is that, they removed hit stop, and you're like, what the fuck? Why have you done that? If you know what hit stop is.
We have superiority in this battle. Make sure we maintain them.
No, I don't
Okay,
remember.
it's actually, if anyone is also interested, I can give a rough overview, but there's a video by Sakurai on it. Basically, the idea is it's an animation technique that if you
Hostile strength by a quarter.
that if you want to emphasize impacts of attacks in like fighting games and stuff, basically the moment you know, for example, if you throw a punch and it visually connects, it stops for a few frames. But, like, not a lot. It's just, you know, like a few, like just 1 or 2 frames. And in Monster Hunter, in previous games, if you fought with like the basic attacks had hit stop on them, like you know, you brought down the hammer on the head of a monster, it stopped for a second, so you're like, ah yeah, that hammer that had just big impact right now. And that's just gone. That's not in Wilds anymore. Like, hit stop is still in with like powerful attacks, but it's not there anymore for some standard attacks. And yeah, I'm wondering why they're doing this. Like, it's as I said in this last time I streamed it, I still look very much forward to it. I had fun. It's just weird decisions they are doing. And also just feels like they are rushing for like a higher fidelity that they couldn't do. But you know, not consistently, not as consistently pull off, and like, feels like games should just tune back to a degree. I mean, you know, no offense against the game, but like a lot of people play Risk of Rain 2 and it has a huge community and it looks like ass. It's just. Like,
yeah, I've seen a lot
is...
of people. I've seen a lot of people making a lot of complaints about the menu UI.
I was more like, you know, Risk of Rain 2. You don't have really you don't have really like high polygonal models, not really high resolution textures. The lighting is kind of ass.
Yeah.
I don't think there's even hit stop in some of the attacks where, especially if, no wait, there's hit stop.
There's hit.
It has hit stop. I'm sorry.
It's unintentional hit stop.
Yeah.
When loader hits too many enemies, or when when any character hits too many enemies, the game lags.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's what I wanted to. That's why I wanted to be like, yeah. Which, you know, if they smooth that out, I'd still say they should maybe add some hit stop to loader, just so, you know, she feels a little bit more impactful, like she should. Or, you know, it would actually be kind of cool if they had some scaling hit stop, like, you know, if it's. You know, if it starts being...
No, I get what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one part of it where it's like the visual side, but there's another part where it's like, okay, there's the visual side of this, but do we want to do this when it could potentially impact gameplay?
Yeah, no,
I'm not... People would at least think that it might impact gameplay, and so it's... I think that they are kind of like, you know, let's just steer away from this. It's more work to do something that may or may not have the kind of payout we're looking for.
I mean, it's something where I would say, like, yeah, I'd say people, you know, it could probably look a bit, you could touch it up a bit. That's not the thing. Like, I'd say there's a world where, you know, you have a better looking Risk of Rain 2 without much of an impact, but the point was more like it doesn't need it. I mean, Metaphor also just looks straight ass in some areas, but it doesn't need to look good because it has, you know...
It has style.
It has style, and also it has gameplay. It has good fucking gameplay.
Modern game devs need to take a lesson from Megamind.
Okay, Megamind, that's...
Yeah. What makes a good game is not the power of how detailed or realistic it looks. It's the flair. It's the showing. It's how showy things are.
Well, yeah, fair. Ah, yeah, Megamind. A good movie where they then just shat out a sequel that pissed everyone off.
What do you mean? There's no Mega Man.
There's no Mega Man sequel. Yeah, sorry that I even said that.
Yeah.
That was a stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what made you think that there was a sequel to Megamind. They're sure. I know there isn't one. Yeah. Megamind 2 does not exist.
You know what? You know, usually when people are like, oh, the sequels do not exist, like, I'm like, you know what, I kind of hate that. Like, they're maybe not good, but, you know, they have something. But in this case, I totally agree with you. No, fuck this shit. What the fuck was that? That's like...
Like, if you're gonna make a sequel to a movie that is iconic in that way, especially if you make the sequel after it becomes iconic, at least make the sequel like
give a shit. Like, it doesn't need to be on par. It maybe doesn't even need to be that good. But if you give people the feeling you gave a shit, you know, that's the thing. Like, I have my critiques about, you know, the fourth and fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but I still saw how they gave a shit, even though their giving a shit was just untalented. Like,
yeah, no, you can see the passion in Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and 5.
You see how there was like someone
and
tried to make
how
a movie.
It's not just like you can see that it's not just like nostalgia baiting.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I think ironically most sequels, even like earlier ones, you know, when Disney made like a lot of direct to DVDs, like direct to VHS sequels. Let's just not forget that. A lot of them gave a shit, and some of them were actually pretty good. Like, I think the Aladdin one was pretty good. What was it called? One was actually really good. Honestly, they made a sequel to The Lion King, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Like, oh yeah, they're riffing another Shakespeare stuff, but pretty good. And then you had like, oh yeah, you know what? Was it Rescue Rangers in English? You know, the two small mice?
Yes.
Yeah, the sequel was actually better than the first movie.
Oh yeah. There are a number of times where movies have had superior sequels to their.
Yeah, I mean, usually not the animated Disney ones, but I mean the first Rescue Rangers is just
It didn't quite. It had a good idea, but it didn't hit the mark.
It was fine, and then they're just like, what about Big Bird in Australia? And like the antagonist is like just a fucking hunter that's like always in like half in shadow, and you're like, holy shit, do you want to traumatize children? And then they're like, you know what? We may be just a TV department, but what if we just start flexing this time as well? And you're like, god damn it, that's a good sequel actually. That's an outstanding sequel.
And then Rescue Rangers had their TV show, which was good.
I haven't seen that actually.
It's Chippendale Rescue Rangers. It was on the Disney Channel for a short period.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers is connected to the two mice?
Yes.
Wow.
Let me double check that. Yeah, Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
I saw that show. It was pretty fun. But yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, and then I'm reminded of the Chippendale live action movie.
Yeah, apparently that one was solid.
I will answer that statement, and say yes, it was solid. And if I remember correctly, Ugly Sonic showed up in that.
Why? How? What the fuck?
To put it shortly, Ugly Sonic in that movie, his character was quite literally Ugly Sonic, and he was running a booth at a convention. And he had lines, and he had relevance in the story in various points.
Damn.
So it's not like it was like some weird cameo. No, this was an actual genuine role in the film. You need to watch Chippendale, the movie.
I will,
the live
I guess.
action movie was good.
I will, I guess. I mean, right now, not really a lot of movies on the list. I know, you know, Deadpool 3 is coming to Disney Plus soon, so I guess we just watch it then and there. Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool 3 was great.
I heard that and I avoided spoilers to this day, so I'm very happy I am unspoiled as fuck.
Bravo 1 control.
As usual.
Yeah.
Bravo sector has been lost to the enemy.
One thing I will say is not a spoiler.
Eh.
Make sure you brush up on you review some of the advertisements for the movie that Ryan Reynolds did,
Friendly on the ground.
because they're not like, it's not like a required reading type thing,
I guess sort of.
but
yeah.
like the various statements that he made about the film and things. So, for example, one of the things that he said in one of his like advertisements really early on is that they were going into this with the intention of not sullying the name of Logan.
Yeah.
And that statement is relevant in the movie. So
I have not seen Logan. Sir.
you don't need as long as you understand Logan's place in culture.
I mean, I
you're
know
good.
the general story.
It's a really good precious film to X-Men fans.
Yeah, I just know, like, you know, people were always like, you know, oh, you know, you had like the X-Men movies where like everything starts good, and then they do, and then they were like, okay, the second one is kind of, and then the third one was, but you know what, we can make Origins, and then, you know, that they made, you know, the sequel, and they were like, oh, that's better. That's actually pretty good. And then they were like, okay, let's make a new X-Men movie, and everyone was like, oh, that's not so good, but okay, you know what, you're onto something there. And then they were like, okay, the new you know, the next Wolverine movie was like, okay, you know what, at least you're onto something. And then they made another X-Men
Then you
movie.
had First Class.
No, First Class was before that.
Oh yeah,
And
well, First Class was a good movie.
Yeah,
I stand by First Class.
And then they were like, yeah, let's make a new X-Men movies, and everyone was like, oh, that's straight ass again. And then they made Logan, and everyone was like, oh, that's actually pretty good.
Days of Future Past was good. First Class was good. Apocalypse was terrible.
Yeah, I mean Apocalypse. I think the other ones were like, you know, everyone was like,
Yeah.
okay, the movies are turning up, and then they were like, how do we ruin this? Well, it is so funny to think about that.
I'm here to help.
God damn it, the performance is just worse this time. Oh well. Yeah, X-Men movies are a whole thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
But well, let's see for a new gun. I actually haven't used the AEK a lot, but I think I never had really used it, so time to do that, I guess.
Hostile activity on one of our objectives.
But yeah, movies is like watching sometimes, but not a lot. Not a lot. What?
Normally at the end of the year we're watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we would. That is usually like, okay, hey, the year's ending. Let's watch Lord of the Rings again. And like again, as a while ago, we had like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should just watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and so we watched Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was good. It's good. It's good movies.
Yeah.
You should watch them. The British East India Company is horrible.
Hot take right there.
I know.
British East India Company is terrible. Elizabeth is hot. Orlando Bloom is a gem.
The
This strategy is not working.
All these things
More
hot
sectors
takes.
than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
Echo sector fully secured. Objective Delta 1 has been lost.
But I did I did see Venom on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, fuck. You know what? I keep forgetting that this movie is basically out, and I wanted to actually. Okay. Yonya. Actually, depending on how much it costs, would you be interested in watching the third Venom movie in theaters?
American forces are in control of Charlie sector.
Was it a yes?
I heard yes.
You shouldn't say it with less noise. I can just hear it less. You know? It's like you just confused the hell out of me. It's like, yeah, I kind of thought so. It's like the one movie series where like we watched both and we're like, oh, this is pretty good, and she likes Venom, so like you know what? This is probably one of the few movies where we could go into the cinema for.
Damage is critical!
We're like very sparingly with that.
I will always promote. I will always promote supporting your movie theater. And
Yeah, I mean my problem is just we don't have a lot of money, so it's like we need to really be like if we want to go and like what would be in it, and the answer is like usually they're not really movies that we want to see. Anyway, so
I get it.
and
there are some movies where I say you are genuinely missing out because it's not in the theater. So things like Top Gun.
probably
you're missing
yeah,
out if you're not seeing it in the
probably,
theater.
but also you know.
Venom, I wouldn't say that there's really anything that you're missing out on by seeing it, by whether you're seeing it in a theater or at home. But I do think that there is like, it's not at the level where you're missing out, but I would say that it is an enjoyable experience in a theater.
It answers also the question though. Is it better than the second and first movie, which shouldn't be that hard?
What are you trying to shit on the second and first movie?
No. I mean, like, okay, the first movie was okay. Let me put it like this: all of the Venom movies have charm. Okay, that's what carries them. I mean, it's Tom Hardy doing like being gay to you know slightly more alien Tom Hardy. And I feel like the first movie was that to a degree unintentionally. They just let him do his shit, and then everyone was like, "Oh shit, that's an angle." And the second movie tried to be more that, but was held back by other decisions. So I'm like, is the third movie like actually full on Venom crap? Like no crap. Like is it cheesy? Is it gay? Is it weird?
So I have one answer. I have one thing to say. The third Venom movie is Venom movies at full tilt.
At what?
Full tilt. Nothing really holds them back.
Nice.
Except maybe like trying not to contradict more.
Yeah, who cares actually?
Nerds, but even then, it's just kind of like you can see, like there's it recharacterizes a lot of stuff for Venom's for Venom himself and for Eddie Brock.
I have got you.
I mean, it's
It
you
does
don't need
it
to.
very well and tastefully.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
there's not much more I can say about it, really.
yeah, it's not that I want to know a lot. It's more like, is it good actually? Because if it wasn't,
Yes.
okay, you know what?
In the answer of is it good, my answer is just flat out yes. There's not really a question about it.
Honestly, it's kind of wild to think about that they managed to make a Venom movie trilogy and got it over the finish line, and it ended well. Like that's kind of a feat to do, you know?
Okay, here, context. If I were to say, so I would say that the Venom trilogy is a better trilogy than the Raimi trilogy.
Oh, okay, boy. Now you're making a big hot pot. Like you're opening like the biggest can of worms you can do if you're saying it's better than the Raimi trilogy. Like you're attacking like classic cinema there right now.
Don't get me wrong. The Raimi trilogy is a classic, and it's got its good points.
But let me guess.
But the Raimi trilogy's flaws are the reason why I put the Venom trilogy, above the Raimi trilogy.
Let me guess. The Venom trilogy ends better because, like, yeah, the third movie in the Raimi trilogy, it's not that good. Overall, it has its moments, but yeah.
The thing that, so with the Raimi trilogy, the thing that's, in my opinion, the only thing that saves the third movie, well, two things actually.
I won't lose you.
Dark Peter.
Okay, yeah,
And-
that's an easy one though. It's actually like I know people are like, but
Yeah.
it's cringe, but it's good cringe.
Yes, Dark Peter and everything about Sandman.
Yeah, like I mean, the thing
Sandman,
is,
on his own, saves that film, or runs and controls that film. The whole new Goblin thing was just
Yeah.
kind of, it was kind of
you
icky.
you realize very fast how much that movie was not the plan of Raimi, because I think he wanted to make a Sandman and Vulture movie, and Sony was like, no, you need to do Venom because Venom is cool and we can market Venom, and it turns out it took like a whole other decade and Tom Hardy to have a marketable Venom. Then again, can we just talk about how Tom Hardy has saved so many movies or trilogies in the last decade? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I'd say people are overlooking how much of a good actor Tom Hardy is. Flat out. Because
Yeah, he's great.
yeah, I mean, I think he also usually really fits roles really well. Like, I think
Let's
most
get
people
started.
kind of overlooked him most of the time. If people were like, oh, Tom Hardy for, Mad Max. And then, holy shit, he fucking ripped that trilogy from the claws of Mel Gibson. Thank you very much. And almost effortlessly. Like, he played the role so well. Like, he doesn't even need to say a lot, and you just can read it off his face. That is good acting, But also, like, anyone remembers how there was supposed to be a second movie with the Joker in Nolan's Batman trilogy, and then the whole accident happened? And so they had to find a stand-in, and, okay, you know what? Yeah, Bane wasn't written that well, but holy shit, he acted the shit. Like, he acted the shit out of that role with what he was given. And I think The Dark Knight Rises is only as good as it could be because, Tom Hardy was able to get that character to life in some form as well as he did. Like, I don't say, he's definitely not the Joker. Sorry, you can't top that Joker. He's too perfect. But in that trilogy, he's like he's really a close second in terms of antagonists. He has his own, he made his own thing. And like, let me just put it like this: the Dark Knight trilogy from Nolan could have ended way worse. Way more fucking worse. But it didn't. So, yeah, that is my take. And yeah, again, he was cast as Venom, and then he just did his own thing, and as I said, one of the only reasons why Venom is, a trilogy now is because Tom Hardy just did his whole shtick with being Venom and Eddie Brooke. And it being kind of gay.
We must hold the line.
And, to the point that, people were like, hey, this shit is kind of gay, we kind of like that. And, then the studio itself was like, maybe we should recut the trailer and frame it more like a rom-com. And like, yeah, you know what? It kind of sucks that the original Venom movie was not a rom-com. It should have been actually more.
So the with regards to that,
Spotted a hostile tank.
there's
250
also
meters.
they were also seeing
Spotted a hostile fire
Deadpool
team.
2 come off of its
Oh, yeah.
They're using a tank.
marketing as a Valentine's movie, and as a romance and Valentine's movie, and they're realizing, oh, this
That's
is
word.
just trendy enough that we can sneak this in, and it not becoming like an overdone trend.
Yeah. I mean, also,
And
again, I think the Venom movie had
This
enough
is
charm.
honestly that I think. So when I watched, I rewatched the second Venom movie at one point, and my understanding of it is that it basically pulled a lot of tropes from old buddy cop TV shows and movies.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, they didn't go as ham as they could. Like, have you seen the cut material that they planned? They wanted to make the Carnage Pope, which is like, no, seriously, the
yeah, I
ending
remember
was supposed to be that Carnage nails Venom to a cross and then makes a crown of thorns out of his tongue, which is like, cowards, fucking cowards. Do you know how much of an impact you had? Like, you would have.
I would say if they did go ahead with that, I feel like that might detract a little bit from the rom-com aspect of the film.
Maybe, but also like I feel like they Venom can fit the hamminess of like really absurd scenarios, and but
Yeah, it's just I feel like it would have they would have had to have made the movie longer in order to accommodate that.
yeah,
And
I mean-
I feel like a longer film may not have played too well to Venom.
yeah, I don't know. The second movie is actually pretty good. Like they got a bunch of stuff right.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I think it's partly because of some of the, not to say that the cut stuff was bad, but I think because of the cut stuff, they were able to make it a more condensed and enjoyable film.
Yeah, that is honestly that is rare if you consider how long movies nowadays actually are. Like Venom 2 is short. It's actually short.
Yeah.
So like yeah, you just sit there and be
Nowadays, it's very, like, you see all the films that are like, oh, we made this film so long. You're going to love it because it's so long. Long. Or whatever that ad is, the long ad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ironically, it's not that I think what I hate the most is the fact that most movies are long against against what they should be. Like for example, the Dark Knight is also like 2 hours long or so, and you're like, what? But then you watch it and you're like, holy shit, this movie is condensed. There is so much going on, so many plot lines, so much setup. Like, it doesn't feel like 2 hours. It's like, because it's a movie with a good pace that, actually gets to a point. Like, they have to cram so much in and it doesn't feel wrong. It feels like, it feels right in what it does. And meanwhile, other movies are like 2 hours long and they just meander on shit and you're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't 2 hours.
Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we have to put some of the blame for that on Endgame. Endgame,
Yeah.
while being a absolutely wonderful and
It
amazing,
used its time. Like, Endgame was about something.
and used its time well. I think it set I think Endgame and Infinity War set a precedent for movies to be minimum 2 hours. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
It is completely stupid. Like, we're
Sorry,
going back to...
not even 2 hours. Like, it kind of set the goal for movies to be 200 minutes.
Mm.
Not even 2 hours, but 200 minutes. which is not a fun amount of time to watch a movie.
It's just
Or
kind
not
of sucks.
150, I think. Either way.
Like, look at, for example, most old animated Disney ones. They are like 90 minutes long. Which, yes, you know, they're animated movies. They it would just cost a lot making them. But still, it's like 2 hours of movie time is just so much that you just sit there being like, what am I doing with my life here? And even if the movies are, you know, good, I think a lot of people, you know, ironically, if a movie is still good despite that, cut out a lot of stuff in their mind. Like, for example, I know some people are saying, you know, The Batman is a better movie than the Nolan Batmans, and like, no. Like, seriously, sit down and rewatch The Dark Knight, and you're like, holy shit, it is night and day how good those are. Like, I'm not saying The Batman is bad, okay? But The Batman is slow. And unnecessarily slow to a degree. Like they just sometimes just wait to that, you know, to just do shit and stuff, and like, and only like at the very end, you know, the Riddler comes up and you're like, oh hey, hi, there's the guy, and like he's interesting, but I mean, it's kind of an interesting and bold choice to be like, oh, you know, only at the end you realize what his plan was, and then the movie's almost over. And even that felt stretched, you know? Like, the irony is, the Joker does shit from the beginning, is in your face, and there are multiple times where like, oh, that was his plan, actually. Not to mention the whole, like, you know what's also in The Dark Knight that's just in there, and people just forget? The whole imposter storyline was in there, and you know, it's basically also to a degree blink it and you miss it. Then you have the whole, you know, the mafia tries to secure their money overseas and aligns with a Chinese businessman / other underworld boss. So there's a whole extraction / capture scene in Hong Kong, which is not even long. It's just it has to happen because it's like one of the most logical things they would do. And so and so forth. There's so much layered on top. Until they realize then there's the whole thing with, you know, oh hey, we're going to capture the Joker, and you know the famous chase scene, if you remember that. The whole Commissioner Gordon dies plotline. It's just, god damn it, The Dark Knight is such a dense movie. Like, incredibly dense, actually. Like, I think a lot of people forget how dense it was because they maybe just, you know, remember some key plot points. And meanwhile, I think a lot of people forget how stretched the Batman is because, you know, they just remember the key plot points, which is, yeah, if you have good plot point, like good points in the movie, I think your brain kind of cuts out the rest. And so there can be like a very distorted view because suddenly, you know, you're just like, oh hey, I just comparing the heights, but a movie is not just heights. A movie is everything else, and yes, there's a lot of heights in The Dark Knight that overshadow the rest, but the rest is still so utterly good that it would be its own, you know, perfect scene in every other movie. But it's The Dark Knight, so it's just, again, that fucking chase scene with the Joker, also the Joker just standing in the streets and shooting at Batman and just saying, come on, and you're like, oh god, this is like, oh, it's... Also the lighting in the movie is so good, like, wow. I'm sorry, just for everyone who wonders, I like The Batman. I think it's good, and I think they can make a perfectly good trilogy based off of that. And honestly, they could even finish that storyline, that trilogy, better than, you know, than they did with, you know, you know, the Nolan trilogy, because again, the Joker doesn't die. That's like, well, the actor for the Joker doesn't die. That was like the biggest problem that trilogy had, if we're honest.
Yeah.
The problem is just...
I don't like the whole discussion around that trilogy because they basically... It basically created a idolization of actors being of actors only being able to play one role.
Yeah, like I mean, okay, some actors again play like are famous for one role, but let's not fool ourselves here. Some actors, are born to play one role, but let's not forget. For example,
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds. Yes, everyone knows him for being Deadpool. He's Pikachu.
But also, Ryan Reynolds did one hell of a job doing all of his rom-coms.
Yeah, like honestly, I'm honestly kind of sad that I still say here, make a rom-com with Ryan Reynolds and Tom Hardy. I swear, you would fill theaters. I actually knew Ryan Reynolds because of his rom-com stuff. Because
Oh yeah, he was all over the place with those. Like if you watched, if you were watching movies in the early 2000s,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the 2000s, you knew Ryan Reynolds for his rom-coms.
yeah, I think this is probably one of the funniest bits in my opinion. That so before people you see. In the early 2000s, I usually went actually a bunch of times to the cinema because a friend of my mother was like she really liked what's it called movies, and she was like she kind of wants to go to the cinema but doesn't doesn't want to do it alone. So like I watched a lot of rom-coms. What can I say? Also, I like rom-coms. Rom-coms are amazing. It's honestly, it's a crime that we do not have more rom-coms. And people, and actors want to actively do rom-coms. Let's not forget the famous line that, Dave Bautista said he wants to do a rom-com. Give that man a fucking rom-com, he would kill it. He would, Dave Bautista would kill it in a rom-com.
He is he's one of the people that proved that you can move on from being a wrestler and do good acting.
Yeah, I mean, the other ones we have is honestly the best one is still Dave Bautista, but he knows the strength he's playing to, and yeah, I'd say as a rom-com he would be such a perfect fit actually. But yeah, if it comes to rom-coms, Tom Hardy and Ryan Reynolds, just god damn it, it's just raw fucking gold on the street. It's Ryan Reynolds plays the more, open, quirky person, and Tom Hardy, a bit more shy, a bit more nerdy. They would fit. They would just fit so good, Anyway, it's just a thing, that just sucks. But yeah, I watched a lot of them, and that was also one of the reasons why. Remember that awful Green Lantern movie?
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. So here's the funny thing. I actually kind of enjoyed the Green Lantern movie.
It wasn't that bad actually. Yeah, it was fine. It was kind of awful, but it was kind of fine. I also.
Yeah, as a Green Lantern. How do I say this? As a movie, it was all right. As a Green Lantern movie, it was not good.
Yeah. I mean, I basically got...
It's one of those movies where it's like you hate to like it and you love to hate it.
Yeah. Oh god, what was that? What I want to say is that I basically watched in the movies because again, I watched rom-coms before also, and my mom and her friend wanted to see it in cinema because Ryan Reynolds, he's so he's so handsome. He has he just has those eyes, and I get it. I get it, I'm a lesbian, I get it. Tom Hardy is better though. Sorry.
So you're saying Ryan Reynolds has the lesbian eyes?
He could be good. No. Okay, you know what? He could also be a femme. He has chaotic lesbian energy to a degree. On the other hand, yeah.
But yeah, anyways, yeah, there are people who were essentially who are pretty much Bourne to play a role.
Fair point. But like I'd say a lot of people overdo a lot of stuff because they're pretty, like, especially with The Dark Knight, you had this thing that the actor died and then like he died after and I think
I'll mention the worst thing that people pressured Disney into doing was Chadwick Boseman, like retiring T'Challa because Chadwick Boseman died. I get it.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You don't want to replace such a wonderful character, but also I feel like it's missing the point that some people were trying to make about that, because it ended up like closing the door on people who could have been a good T'Challa.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for example, like for example with The Dark Knight, I'd say that Joker performance you could not get the same energy. Like that is like, yeah, that specific thing was nailed, but I think one of the biggest problems was more like it, Wakanda Forever kind of sucked. Yeah, let's just put it like this. Like they never replaced it with anything substantial. Also, can we just talk about the fact that they just start turning everything into TV shows now, and that sucks even more? Like, I really stopped watching them. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm like, yeah, there's a GAFA series right now, and apparently it's good, until it's not anymore, because a TV show is not allowed to be a TV show anymore. It has to tease a movie, and the movie has to tease a TV show, and you're like, why are we here even anymore? Like, what the fuck is the point? And then you have, also with the Batman, like, one of the reasons I'm not thinking that much about, continue watching the next one is just, I would need to watch a fucking Penguin show that is not even easily available. Like,
I have heard that the Penguin show is really good.
Oh yeah, you know what? I don't doubt that. I heard good things about it, and like that's true. But like, at some point, it's just like I am just so tired, Like, why is
it's kind of funny how Penguin in out of the last Batman villain TV shows, Penguin has been consistently good.
I mean, honestly,
Gotham,
Penguin is a good.
Penguin is amazing.
Can I say one thing? Penguin is an easy character to do the moment you just let him be like just a smart planning mob boss. And I mean, the idea of Penguin taking over the mafia is like, here's the thing. I generally think the one thing that the Batman actually had going for it is the fact they had a good Penguin actor, which makes me even more like, I have a feeling they will flounder that in the sequel, because the Penguin should be like the main antagonist if they want to make a trilogy, and he should have been from the beginning. Like, I know they kind of try to be more like, hey, look, it starts with the mafia, and there's the Riddler in the background, but like, if they were smart and didn't have so much downtime in their movie like they did actually, they could have put in that the Penguin realizes what is going on and starts playing all sides. Like, that would be cool, right? If that's what it was, if that was like actually the thing that oh hey, the Penguin is actually like the one who's taking slowly control of everything, and at the end he's actually more entrenched. Like,
by the way, did you hear the Sinister Six stuff?
No, I mean, is it? You know what? Obviously, that's coming. Like,
so, Sinister Six is reportedly moving forward in development, and the team is going to consist of Kraven, Morbius, Vulture, Madam Web, and Venom. And Spider-Man and it's unsure if Spider-Man is going to show up.
what?
Meaning that the not Sinister Six may show up as the protagonists of the film.
What? Why? What is the do they want to do a Suicide Squad thing?
That's what I'm worried
The whole
about.
point of the Sinister Six was that I think Doc Ock I think it was Doc Ock in the original was like, I can beat it alone. I can beat Peter alone. Let's ask all the people who who took him on alone. Like the point was that it was 6 people with a grudge against Spider-Man.
Yeah. And supposedly it has nothing. The movie is going to have nothing to do with with Spider-Man 4, which I hear that and I'm like, what are you smoking? Because
You know what?
like I'm not a big Spider. Like I don't like dive deep into the Spider-Man lore, but even I know that the Sinister Six is a special thing for Spider-Man.
Yeah. You know what they should do actually? Because this is
What?
like still kind of implied to be their own universe. You know, that probably just dips over. Yeah, don't put the Sinister Six into the MCU. You know what? Bring back Andrew Garfield. Make it a surprise. Oops, it's actually the Amazing Spider-Man 3. And no one would have a problem with that.
Here's your problem.
I know,
If
I
you're
know.
looking from that direction, you're essentially just redoing what's it called? Not Homecoming. Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, yeah, I know
The
that was.
recent Spider-Man movie.
Okay, honestly, I like the fact that in Multiverse of Madness it was, oh hey, it's technically the Sinister Six from all the previous movies that we knew of, and
Yeah.
but the ending is more like, instead of, oh, I have to fight them, it turns out that, like, what if we're nice? And then, Doc Ock is like, yeah, what if we're nice? And it was honestly, here's the thing. I know people shit on the MCU, but like, No Way Home was actually really good. Like,
Yep.
it was genuinely a really good movie in the sense that, they actually took, like, not only, it wasn't just, the Spider-Verse movie for, the ones, it like actually took a different route, and like actually, like, I cannot stress enough how much I liked how much it resisted being a Marvel movie. Because in a Marvel movie it would be like, oh yeah, you fight and you win, but this one was actually, no, wait, I should use my skills, as I know stuff, I have access to technology, I should help people. And like, that's a Spider-Man movie, It's like the same thing
Yeah.
as, when Ryan Reynolds basically made Deadpool 2, and Deadpool 2 was,
The best part of No Way Home was the fact that even in the end, Peter didn't really win.
yeah, I mean, he didn't win, like, he had to sacrifice. Also,
And I hate. Yeah, the thing about Peter is, you're not allowed to, like, Peter is not allowed to have a truly. Only in very rare circumstances is Peter allowed to have a happy end, a truly happy ending.
also,
Like, there's
let's
always
just,
got to be some caveat to it.
also
And-
let's just be honest here, they had to do it because, so he's the friendly neighborhood spider that constantly has problems with his landlord and is broken. And he was bankrolled by Tony Stark. I generally like the whole yes, Aunt May tells him to the whole line with great power comes great responsibility and all that. I mean, I kind of wish that, okay, honestly, I wish Tony Stark had done that in a previous movie because it would have fit a little bit better, but it was still done well.
He kind of did in Homecoming.
He kind of did, but he would have needed to die.
The scene on the ship. It was with the scene on the ship, and Tony Stark did die in Peter's hands.
And didn't tell it to him. Sorry.
I understand this. It wasn't all done at once. The steps were done separately.
I know.
But this is why I do consider Tony Stark to be the Uncle Ben of.
He is the Uncle Ben of this
Nasty.
one, and I think that is actually, kind of fine. They changed it up with something that, people already knew. And I think that the saddest part is that it's such an obvious thing, and it was kind of undercooked in the end. So, yeah, but no, like, I really like No Way Home because it was actually, different. It really was trying
Yeah.
to be like more of the, it actually wanted to be a comic movie and not, a bombastic action movie with comic characters.
Yeah.
And
And
I mean,
one of the things I liked about No Way Home is that it accentuated the fact that, Peter fucked up.
Yeah, he did.
And there's not much, he can't really fix that.
I mean, I have
Even though, like, it gets fixed in the next movie, but that's besides the point. When you first see No Way Home, you think, oh, Peter fucked up in a way that he can't fix.
I mean,
yeah.
my biggest... Okay, here's the thing though. Like, yeah, it basically did ironically the thing that, Deadpool 2 did it as a joke, aka it was an actual X-Men movie, when the X-Men movies weren't.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's still, Ryan Reynolds, you deserve a medal for that.
Engaging objective Delta 1.
But, I think one thing I was like, oh hey, they reset it, he's now, actually the poor, he's like the poor, neighborhood spider, friendly neighborhood spider that has to just scrape by. No one knows him anymore, and he has to rebuild everything. Also, Aunt May is dead. Like, holy shit, that is just like, it's like it's really bad compared to a lot of other Spider-Mans.
They could approach from a direction of, is Peter gonna try and bring back Aunt May?
Okay, you know what? Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I kind of know where the next trilogy is going to go. And you know why?
What, Mephisto?
It's gonna be Mephisto. They literally said the next one is Brand New Day. So, oh hey, which Spider-Man storyline had Day in its name? I wonder which one was that about? For everyone who doesn't know, I think it was called One More Day, and basically it's that Spider-Man cuts the like it technically happened already, They technically did that in No Way Home already, but Mephisto was Doctor Strange to a degree. Okay? And I think Strange was probably like the one he might still, have as some form of mentor. Like, I mean, they kind of replaced, Strange. They definitely tried to introduce Strange as, the new mentor.
So,
it fits.
narrative-wise, because of the spaceship trip that they took in Infinity War, that like meeting between the three of them on the ship was a informal introduction that was basically setting up Doctor Strange to be Spider-Man's backup mentor if Tony dies.
And
I have a feeling that they may. It depends on how things go, but Doctor Strange may show up in the Spider-Man 4. It's possible.
Yeah,
I think it's a little unlikely, but it's possible.
It's possibly a thing, and like I think that's the Day trilogy will probably be around him trying to undo what he did, and then he loses, he will lose, so spoilers, the thing with One More Day was that I think, what was she called again? His girlfriend dies. Mary Jane dies, and basically, he strikes a deal with the devil that they are brought back, but no one remembers him. So it's just reset to 0, and yeah, it's kind of dark, and
wasn't that also comics, wasn't that also the Cuck arc for him?
The what?
There's some arc in Spider-Man. I think it may be somewhat recent, where basically people forget who Spider-Man is or Peter is, and then someone else fills in his role, like his roles that he was doing as Peter.
It could be like I'm not really remembering that well. I mean, I'm not reading the comics actively. Just notice.
I'm not doing that either. I've just kind of seen the stuff on the periphery. But yeah, anyways, it was a weird It's a weird thing.
It's an idea. I think the biggest problem, the biggest problem people had is that they wanted to be undone in the comics, and it didn't fit that well because, Spider-Man is about science and, not magic. And, like, I get it, but, like, in the movies, it's like he already fucked shit up together with, Doctor Strange, and it wouldn't be a long stretch to say, oh, hey, Spidey tries to maybe control magic down the line with science, and because that's a thing Peter would try to do to a degree.
I mean, they've kind of already hinted at that in the movie in Multiverse of Madness when they have like the inverted suit for taking care of Electro.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect. There's that part to it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do try it. But that said, there's also the thing of like you have to take into account that Peter's learned his lesson from Multiverse of Madness. And so I think one of the key points of 4 is probably going to be that he needs to like prove that he has learned that lesson and that he won't kind of give in to his desires or stuff like that. Because they kind of hinted at that at the end of Multiverse.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll have to see where it's going actually. So. That's just probably a bit... Why are we talking about the MCU actually this much right now? I mean, mostly I'm not even that interested in a lot of stuff because like the TV shows are just tiring. Like after Loki 2, we just stopped. Loki 2 was great, but...
I mean, I've taken a break from the MCU stuff because I look forward to the next I think it's the next one that's coming out because the Spider-Man I look forward to the Spider-Man 4 because I think
the Spider-Man ones are actually good, but also they are
4 is going to be directed by the director of 4 is also the director of the Shang-Chi, who I really like. So I have hopes for that one. And you know what? I can't remember what some of the other... I don't care. I'm just... If I see the movie in advertisements and it's an MCU movie and I think it looks interesting, I'll go see it. If
which
not,
one?
Then I don't know.
Wait, which movie do you see in advertisements?
I'm just saying if I see one in advertisements and I think, oh, this looks interesting, then I'll go see it. If I don't see it in the advertisements or it doesn't look interesting, then I just won't.
Yeah. Honestly,
I'm kind of at a... I feel like this is a stage of grief for the loss of quality in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, they just were like, oh, the MCU movies do money. Let's make more of them. Let's make them faster. And you're like... I think the biggest difference is just that you can see how, I think one of the big differences, like, when you look at the first Iron Man movie, the CGI for his suit is so well done, because, they had time and they were like, okay, let's make it like this, big mechanical, moving parts, and, there's a lot of, stuff in there. And then they just became nanomachines.
I think so.
On
one hand, the nanomachines feels like a
logical transition, but
it's a logical transition. But
also,
I feel like they transitioned to that way too soon.
I mean, I know why they did that because it's it's the same thing as with Transformers 4. In Transformers 1, the whole transformation sequence was a lot of CGI work, but they were great. It was mechanical. In 4, they had to save time, so they just were like, nope, they just done. It's
130 meters away.
I will say in Transformers 4, the like CGI work for those transformations were good.
To a degree, yeah, but you also saw
It
how...
didn't have the same. There is a feeling of missing out because of what they were, but at their core, I think a lot of the transformations.
Good evening, Zero Kane.
They still had the normal transformations for the
Yeah,
like,
but
non-artificial dots.
yeah, but they had a bit of it definitely saved them a lot of time because the other ones didn't transform as much.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, okay, we're also talking about that one movie. It just had a scene about explaining law of consent, which is just that's the weirdest thing to bring up. How this is actually just to bring up age of consent in Texas.
Oh, you're talking about the whole Romeo Juliet law.
Yeah, I know. That was the
Yeah.
thing they just brought up, and it was like so out of place, and you're just like, what?
So, my understanding of the whole thing in that was basically teens ended up getting in trouble because they were having relationships with each other, and
No,
they-
in the movie they have a scene about that, and like they could have just made the
Yeah,
character older, like.
I know it.
It's just a weird. It was
I'm
just
not
a
gonna
weird
get
decision.
Weird. Yeah.
It's one of those decisions where I'm like, I'm not judging it, and it's like more like, why did you need to do this? That makes it just a bit funnier, you know. The more you think about it, the more it falls apart to a degree. But yeah.
I can only think that they did that because they had to make the daughter be a reasonable age for still living at home and not being off at college.
Yeah.
And before you say that there are a lot of people,
I know
well into college age, it doesn't suit the Hollywood aesthetic.
I know. It's just I feel like it is probably I don't even think that scene happened due to any nefarious reasons. It probably was just like the result of overthinking a particular problem, but then it also comes off a bit weird, is what I'm saying.
Well, it also starts off from the fact that you're trying to make the main character the dad in order to appeal to a wider audience.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh man, I mean, when it comes to movies, I'm actually kind of interested that, recently we got a bit of more advertisement for like a Christmas action comedy again. I don't know the name.
Red
something.
something.
Red Notice is something else.
Red Tree?
Red something, yeah. It honestly, I just was like, oh shit, they're doing a Christmas comedy again. That hasn't been done in a long time. But then I remember there was also this one movie, which is kind of
you know what? I can look at my movie app and see where it is because it's coming out soon, I think.
Yeah.
Red 1.
Red 1, yeah. I mean, the thing is, what I then remembered and I kind of wanted to see is the
Maria Falk report.
God, I'm looking at the casting for this movie for Red 1. So you're putting The Rock in a role that suits him, which is that's your first good move.
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
Oh, Chris
Lucy
Evans.
Liu.
Oh, damn.
Lucy Liu. And J.K. Simmons. And it looks like J.K. Simmons is Santa.
J.K. Simmons is... That's a decision. But like, I don't disrespect it, but like, it's a decision, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is Santa Claus. It looks like Chris Evans and Dwayne Johnson are going to be like the Santa's Special Forces team, with Lucy Liu also being in that.
You know what I kind of hate about the fact? That we talk about it, I think like this is probably a movie that we too probably would enjoy a bunch in cinema. But we probably
Chris Evans seems to be the normal guy, and then
that fits
yeah.
actually.
Because there's always got to be the normal guy, the normal-ish guy.
You know what? Yeah, but like at this point I don't really care that much. It's like we haven't had this type of movie in a long time, so... Again, I don't think it's gonna be the best Christmas, you know, kind of jokey movie.
But still, it's an action Christmas movie, which we haven't had a good one in a long time.
Oh yeah,
there was
yeah.
hope for
There's
the one that came out. The one that came out like 2 years ago, that was kind of like a slasher type film.
Yeah, that's one I wanted to actually see.
Where like
because-
Santa was going around murdering people. Like,
Well, it's more
murdering
like-
naughty people.
It's more like, you
To save
know,
Christmas.
it's more like, you know, I don't know the name anymore, but like the plotline was more, you know, some people invade, like there's a home invasion and Santa's like, because he's Santa
Yes.
Claus, not a joke, he's like the actual Santa Claus, and he's like, well, there's a kid in danger,
Violent Night.
I go start murdering people, which is
The movie is called Violent Night.
Violent Night, yes, God, I need to watch that, actually, I wanted to watch it for a long time, and now that it's Christmas season, that sounds actually a perfect time to do that. Shit, we need to
Yeah,
do
I
that.
might
You
actually
know what?
watch
You know
that. I think I'll watch that over Christmas break.
You what? You know what? Should we do that like as like a Discord watch along?
Community watch along.
Community
Yeah,
watch
that
along,
sounds
Violent Night. Like we're doing anime every week or so, but like, you know what? We should like on a weekend we should just sit together and make a Christmas movie. That's something that fits. That fits. That should be good. That's a good
So
idea.
have we responded to
We
chat?
have control for
What?
the street.
Look at chat.
Yeah, sounds good.
I don't know if you said hi.
I said hi. Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, yeah. Community watch along. I start winter break. I want to pull my calendar, actually. I start winter break on the 20th of December.
So very close to Christmas actually.
A little over a week before Christmas.
You said 20th.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Duh.
We have a breach at one of our
So,
objectives.
a little bit of context. We have two celebrations in late December. Christmas and my mom's birthday. My mom's birthday is on the 20th. So sometimes my brain defaults, oh, celebration in that week is the 28th.
Yeah, no, it's 24th.
Yes. But yeah, no, it would have been a week. I would have had an extra week ahead of that, but we've moved our exams to before Christmas break, rather than being after Christmas break. So they had to cut into the break a little bit.
Yeah. Oh well, you know what? That sounds actually like a good plan. We should just not forget it, you know? Maybe someone should write it down like Christmas break, Violent Night, exclamation mark.
If we want to choose a date, I can actually create an event on the Discord server.
Sounds good. I do not know when we could do that or set a date, but maybe we could do that a bit afterwards and ask people when they have time.
Marking enemy helo.
That sounds actually good. Making an event.
I will prep I'll just prep an announcement.
We just need to get the movie, but that shouldn't be the hardest thing.
My guess is that the usual streaming time for like around the Friday night streams might be good. I'm not saying like that 20th to cut into our Friday.
Yeah,
streams,
we'll
but,
see. We could also do it on a Saturday.
Late afternoon on the maybe the Saturday after to like the 21st. Maybe we do the watch along that day. I will put an announcement and suggestion in Discord.
That actually sounds pretty good. Yeah. Splendid. But yeah, Red One is like, I feel like that would be a movie like we two would probably have like a good time in cinema, because like that's the kind of movie I wish to see more. But I would also not like, I know Agonia isn't that interested in it, or would not be that interested in it, so Yeah, but still, yeah, that's shame that there's a whole ocean between us.
Yeah.
Sucks. It really sucks.
Well, I can occasionally fly over if I find a good price ticket.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
they're just also so expensive, and that sucks. Like I looked some up, and it's like, yeah,
They've
no.
conquered more sectors.
Yeah, I managed to find some cheap tickets to fly across and visit my friend in the Netherlands for 2 weeks, but
And gladly,
I can't
trains
book.
are relatively cheap here.
yeah. But the doing any I had to limit how long I was going to be out here because of the rules or like the return date. Like I could only get the cheap tickets because I was returning on a specific day. So yeah. Not to mention I have to buy more plane tickets. Actually, I need to do that today. Because my parents finally finished doing confirmation on the boat that they want to rent in the Caribbean.
Ah,
This has like been a lifelong save up and like dream of this vacation.
that
It's just to spend like a couple weeks on a boat.
honestly, that's understandable.
Yeah.
We are moving to secure Bravo 3. Bravo 2 belongs to us.
We have secured Alpha
But
sector.
yeah, God, we not talk that. And so we effectively avoided talking about the one big thing that looms like a Damocles sword over all of us.
I'm here.
See, this is where I appreciate my talent for redirecting conversations.
Yeah, that's also why I was like, you know what, if I was just alone in here, probably not as well. And but I was like, yeah, you know what, you join, we talk, we have some fun, and now everyone who watches along, who listens to us is like, ah, shit, I completely forgot that horrible things are about to go down, maybe. And
Yeah, so my advice is don't subscribe to Doomerism.
no,
Remind
never.
yourself of all the
That
cool
is-
things that are going on.
Yeah, it's like the thing is, like let's just be clear, the work will not be over when Harris wins. It will just be a lot easier than when Trump wins, because like when Trump wins, there might not be a fight, and it's like that's scary, understandably, but like
Also, quick thing I'm gonna blast out here is third-party voters. Fuck you.
yeah, like I think especially since you're. I think like third-party voting is like if you have an election system that is actually more like the European ones, sure. But like right now, it's like what? There are elections even in the US where you can vote third-party, and who cares?
Control Bravo sector.
But like the problem is every discussion we can have about third-party voting or Harris or anything is just overshadowed by the fact that there is someone saying, if I get elected, I will kill everyone who opposed me. And you're just like, sorry, like I do not know what kind of mental state you have to be to just think, yeah, that's not a problem. I may not like him, but I will go to high road. Like, sorry. Yes, it sucks. Yes, the system is kind of rigged, but again, the problem is like, cool, you have the gun against your head. Make the sensible choice.
Objective secured.
And yeah, to a degree, remove the gun, but you can remove the gun easier when one person wins than the other. Just saying.
One of our objectives is under attack.
And this isn't not just about you, it's just like about so many people that just, depend on the fact that it doesn't get worse. Well, yeah, but doomerism sucks. Dumb idea. Shouldn't do doomerism.
Yep.
Worst idea. actually. Oh well, I think we should go back to fun stuff. Like, for example, talking about how Metaphor Fantasio is a fantastic game, and I have total brain rot for Hulkenberg, if you've seen her.
Yep, I'm aware.
Yeah, she's great. She's amazing. You should also play Metaphor.
Here's the thing, and I know that this is not the best look on me. I don't really like Atlas games.
Ooh.
They just don't really vibe with me very well.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's like, to a big degree, RPGs are based on a story, and if you don't vibe with that, it's that, you know?
Yeah. Like, I enjoy, like, I'll enjoy sitting in a call and, like, watching someone play it a little bit. But when it comes to playing it, so with RPGs, I'm very, I'm like a picky eater, and I don't really have an express criteria for it either. I just kind of, if I see one and I'm kind of like in the mood to enjoy it, and it also like aligns with, it like lines up in a way that is enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
Then I'll like play it.
Honestly, I get that because, you know, Agonia is also a very, very picky eater when it comes to RPGs. In that sense, like she saw the advertisement, was just like, no, it doesn't look like something for me. Then I got her to play the demo, and she was like, ah, shit, this is something for me. And now we're playing it, and like, it is very something for us. It's good shit, like really good dungeon. Like it's dungeon grinding, has good stats. It has a fucking job system. Holy shit. It's been rare that we had a good job system.
I will say, what's her name? The shop owner lady is my favorite.
Yes, you know what? Okay, you know what? You're in good company. He also likes Brigitta.
Good.
Yeah, she's Agonia's favorite. I get it. Like, I think for me, for some reason, I think Hulkenberg got the brain rot too deep, very early, for me to fully let go. But they're basically
No, hold on. It's not just that. I see why Hulkenberg is your ideal type there, because she's a dork.
Yes, but also no. She's a dork. Yes, but also basically a Hemecut. Oh wait, I mean Brigitta auch. But like, I like red hair when it, you know, is done well. Like, white is always a good favorite for me, but like, if something like red hair sticks out, I kind of gravitate towards. And yes, she's a dog, but also she's canonically stronger than you.
Yep.
So, strong woman. I am yes. Also, I don't know if that is kind of a spoiler, but you can cook with her, and one of the dishes she makes is basically burnt bread, and you're like, oh wait, is that edible? No, it's a weapon. You smack it over the head, someone over the head. It's a weapon.
It's consumable stuff.
Yeah, it's consumable. The advantage is that I also simply spend more time with her. Yes, that is definitely an advantage of her. I get that. Even though Brigitta is also almost perfect. We kind of beelined her bond.
Hold on. Almost.
Yes, just you don't have that much time with her, and like... Shut up, okay? Listen, I know...
The time that you spend away from Brigitta kind of ties into her attitude, and it makes it more impactful.
How much do you know about Brigitta?
A little bit. She's kind of standoffish, and like...
There's so much more to her. I fucking cried at her.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's just so fucking... Okay,
she's
everyone
adorable,
is sad.
and she will murder everybody for her.
Yes, like... Okay, this is a somewhat spoiler, but basically they combined John Wick with Balalaika, and yes, I know. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'm very normal about Brigitte as well. Like, Holy shit, that woman would murder me in cold blood if I slighted her. And like, yes, so hot. Also like, like her, like, such a graceful white hair. Again, she could murder me and my blood would splatter on her white hair and it would just be such a beautiful contrast. Okay, you know what? See what I mean? See what I mean? I'm also normal about her. It's just, how can I not choose between two hot women that could murder me? Can I? It's just, it's impossible. Also, hello. I don't know if I would say that I like Brigitta more because she's more my type, but Hulkenberg has a spot now, and that's okay. Yeah, I get that. I think that's my biggest problem. I really like Brigitta, and like she would be best girl for me, but I think character-wise, Hulkenberg just edges out a slight bit for me. Just a slight bit. Yeah, I don't know if there's Shut up! I'm not a bottom. I'm literally not a bottom. Okay?
We believe you.
What?
We believe you.
No, I'm... Fuck off. Okay? I am not. It's just... Okay, you know what? I'm a switch, but just... Yeah, sometimes there is this woman that activates the bottom part, okay? It's not a lot, but it happens. It's not a lot. It happens. I'm not a bottom.
Hostiles are controlling this battle.
I understand.
You stop saying it so condescendingly.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, but you're implying. You don't need to say things to imply things.
No.
Also, welcome,
That's
Connor.
what you're
Yeah.
talking.
I don't think Steam is down actually.
Damn it all!
Why is someone behind me? What is your...
Our forces are assaulting Alpha 2.
Ah, der Hurensohn. Yes, it's Huron, but like, that's almost Hurensohn. Almost. Fuck you. I hate this shit.
We have taken Alpha Sector.
Oh well. But yeah, I don't know what with Steam. If there's a problem with Steam, doesn't seem like that.
Maybe there's some what's the thing called traffic.
Yeah, could be. A lot of sales right now. Like, I mean, yeah, the Halloween sale is basically fizzling out. Oh yeah, one thing I saw, where I'm like, okay, I don't know if I okay. Remember how we played The Division 2?
Yeah.
I think the whole game, like with everything, is like for $10 on Steam right now. So the question is, would you like to play a DC game again? Nice. But I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't know. I don't know if I could get people to like. I'm just fascinated because I always see The Division, and I'm like, do I want to try that game again, like The Division 2? And I don't know. I would need people because it's an MMO, you know.
That's my problem. Is like, on one hand, I don't like MMOs in general, but on the other hand, it's The Division and it's also DC.
Yeah, and with the expansion, you can also go to New York. So like, you know, it's a basic game. Do you have connection to the servers? Because you said usual maintenance time. I don't know. I could check. But yeah. I guess I have. Yeah, I'm still in. But
Maybe they're only like, maybe they're not having logins for servers.
Maybe that could be the case. So just need to wait and see actually. Oh, come on.
They control all of Bravo sector.
It's kind of funny how much they cut out, you know, the actual gunship helicopters now for the Black Hawk, and
This strategy is
it plays so much better.
Hostiles control more sectors than we do.
Oh shit. Oh well. Yeah, I just saw that and like it's kind of like the weird part about the Division is just it fascinates me. I don't know if I would really put in that much time, but like it just kind of fascinates me. I still know when we played the beta first, like of the first game, because we were like, holy shit, this game looks interesting and big, and then we played and we're like, So that's solid. And then the second game was like, you know, I played it with you, but it was like, that's solid. I think my big problem is just like, I think they're.
It didn't have anything gripping.
Yeah, like I do wonder if, like, you know, again, if you actually put some time in, if there's like more that comes, and if you have maybe more people, and there's also like more classes with like if you have the expansion. So what? Yeah, and like metaphor, cool. Oh god, that's caught again. Yeah, I mean, also, oh god, I wish I had Black Ops 6. Actually, I want to play zombies. Poor.
U.S. forces holding too much ground.
I think there is a knot that is missed. Yeah. Yeah. That's my thing right now. I'm a bit pissed I don't have the money for Black Ops 6 because I really would love to play zombies. It's fun. I think the big thing about the Division is like, I don't think any game has a similar vibe, and that is still one of the biggest things. I would say, like, yes, it has kind of average gameplay, but it works. You know, it still has classes and cooperation, and like, that's fine. But like, I think nothing really is like, oh hey, you walk down the street and then you just go into a building and then suddenly you're just in the dungeon. Like, no other game has that feeling, and I wish more did, because that is actually
it's like a dungeon crawler in a modern setting.
Yeah. Also, I think I'd say it definitely is more fun than most MMORPGs, because like, yeah, like at least the gameplay is more fun, and again, it actually tries to have a vibe of the world compared to most MMOs just being static. Oops, you just get funneled into the quote-unquote end game, and that's it.
Objective is under siege.
It's kind of funny how those semi-MMOs kind of work better than most MMOs nowadays. Oh well, but yeah.
That's because most MMOs devolved into into just being a money grab shit.
It is. Like, I cannot express how much it really sucks that, you know, I see people that just think, no, an MMO is just like you in you know, absolutely stupid level grind where you just do you know, quests in like a chain, and then you're, you know, and then you do the end game, and that is like, there you might have a payoff, but then, you know, most MMOs are free to play, so the end game is also just time gated and, you know, resource gated, and it's just so, like, we played Lost Ark, and yes, the moment we realized we were at the end game, quote unquote, like, oh, this isn't that bad if it wasn't a measly amount and undercooked and time gated, and it was like literally had to just suck more money out of you. Then we just quit, because we just reconfirmed that most MMOs literally just bait you with the, you know, with the promise of the end game, and then hope that the sunken cost fallacy hits too hard that you start, you know, pushing money into to actually enjoy it. And it sucks because, yeah, if you go back to old MMOs, and this is why, you know, classic versions are so popular right now, because for a lot of MMOs before that, you're like, oh, but it took so long to reach the final level. Yes, but if you played old World of Warcraft, or, you know, other old MMOs like Dark Age of Camelot, EverQuest, Ragnarok Online, it was all about the way to the top. they wanted you to spend time and experience the world, not just, barrel through to the end. That was the point.
And which accentuates the whole point of why the pay-to-win boosters that help you speed through those levels is terrible. But there is also a mechanical issue with that problem, where if you are not consistently getting people who are doing that slow climb up in the levels, then you're going to struggle to grow. Because when you have a small population that's trying to that's behind the main population, level-wise or content-wise, then it's not going to be as fun for them. You may have people who start disliking the game more because they're not as smart.
Yeah,
as other
there's a
people.
lot there, but the thing is the thing is that the end game was something that most people never reached anyway before. It was just, the mythical thing other people talk about, and that made it more interesting and fleshed out the world. And then devs were like, oh no, everyone needs to experience it. And then, it also just became normal. And the mythical thing of doing raids just became a normal thing. And ironically, when we played a bit of the Division 2, and I think if we had a bigger group, it would probably make more fun. I think that game
But
actually...
yeah, if we had a group of I forget, I don't really know the number, but if we had a group that was suitable size that would
two more people, I think.
hop on to play, then that would be fun. I
Yeah,
guess.
and I think because the Division 2 actually, it's so weird that they, I think in that special in their full package are like, oh yeah, you can just skip the level to the expansion. I'm like, why would I do that? Your leveling was I think it was one of the few modern semi-MMOs where the whole explore the world and such actually hit a nerve. Again, the whole you can just walk in the dungeon and it just feels like a normally connected place. It's it had this sense of place, and so the progression felt not bad. I wanted to do that. I wanted to not just skip everything. I wanted to actually explore Washington DC. It was nice. Also, yeah, the thing about I really, the one thing I wish from Guild Wars is that they made Guild Wars 3, but actually a classic MMO with the world/leveling design of Guild Wars 2, because that was just really honestly, world exploration and leveling of Guild Wars 2 in the beginning was probably the closest to a classic MMO modern MMOs ever got in a long time, and it was really fun. And then nothing. Just Connor, I'm just gonna say it. If Guild Wars 3 does more, would do more classic MMO stuff in the sense that you actually had, real stats and, variations in gear and more, build options, it would be more popular, and you would also like that. The thing is, it's not a classic MMO, is that the classic MMO thing is basically based on what World of Warcraft and Co. is now, not the classic MMO that was EverQuest. Because if they did basically modern EverQuest with Guild Wars 3, I can tell you it would be insanely popular actually. A lot of people do not know that they would love a thing, I mean, it's the same with now people playing Metaphor and being oh shit, this game is good, and yeah, cool. People not as many build options, no. If you compare Guild Wars 2 to something like EverQuest, it pales.
How many have they now with the expansions?
They have some. It's not
3? Roughly per class?
I think you can now use every weapon on every class. It's a nice.
That's not really a build.
It's not really the problem is they don't really have builds, because it's you just have a very limited set of skills that you. I had looked at it and they just had a very limited set of skills. Again, the thing is there's no gear variants. There are builds. Yes, I am not denying that. Listen to what I said. It's not even closely as many builds and variety and differences that old MMOs had. Now again, I'm speaking pre-World of Warcraft. Again, the amount of skills is even paled by classic, World of Warcraft. Again, Guild Wars 3, if they actually were more like original EverQuest, they would be very popular. because they got a few things down, and a lot of people ditched it because the game then just dropped being an RPG. And that definitely hurt them. Like, again, if you look at the current landscape, a lot of people say that, they don't want RPGs, they don't want crunch, because that is kind of a thing people repeat now, like, oh, this is just, they just have, like, a lot of false ideas about that, but then you look at, this month, and what do you see? Whoops, 2 major RPG releases with a lot of stats and crunch, and they're very popular. Extremely popular, actually. And this happens over and over again because people like stat crunching, actually. It seems intimidating because, again, it's probably something most people cannot, conceptualize in their head. They can't just be like, oh, hey, this is what it means, but, like, when it's actually there and digestible, a lot of people will like it. And
Let's get started.
again, I think the standard MMO has become so streamlined and absorbed, and just, again, as you said, Zeb, it's just a money grabbing machine right now. It's just that. It's just literally about money grabbing. Where I would say if they actually did like a classic one, it would do really well. Because that is an underserved market. And you know what the irony about that is? They even have their biggest competitor out of the way, like, soonish. Because
Which one?
World of Warcraft Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Because the problem is what a lot of people kind of forgot is that World of Warcraft was popular because it was, World of Warcraft Classic was popular because it was, again, what everyone remembered. And then they had the 3 expansions that everyone liked. And now they are at the expansion where that split everyone and was like, do we like that? And the thing is, Classic will reach Mist of Pandaria soon. And now the question is, will they actually do Mist of Pandaria? Because the thing is, then everyone will remember, oh shit, this is the moment the whole games got bad. And that's the thing. A lot of people forget that. You shouldn't pin all the time. I mean, the thing is, I think you never really played one of the old ones in that sense, because again, the modern MMOs just like Classic is already like very, very different, and I would say what they want to do with because that's the thing. A lot of older MMOs had more like, oh, you find unique gear that, for example, Ragnarok, that isn't really tied to a level. It's just, okay, you vary, you adjust your stats or give yourself like more unique aspects to your build. And stuff like that would actually fit Guild Wars a lot, because from what I also saw, the next expansions actually try to be more, about the exploration. And yeah, the whole exploration part is really good in that game. I think if they just tied it to more, building up an actual character that is your character, that would connect a lot more. Again, ironically, the exploration is basically EverQuest already. They just need to do the last step.
So I don't play it, but from what I've heard about it, that's essentially what Final Fantasy XIV did, where they tied classes to your weapon rather than your character. So you could build up your character, and you don't have to sacrifice your character in order to change
it's more
classes
like
or do different.
Actually, Guild Wars 2 is different. It's more like you choose a character class,
Yeah.
and then the what weapon you use it with, it changes what kind of skills you have, which is honestly that's a good system. I genuinely think if they would expand on that and not just because the problem with Guild Wars 2 is that they just flatline all the stats in the end. There's no real leveling or variation a lot. It's which is it helps because Guild Wars wanted to be especially wanted to be a PvP oriented game. And that's where it's also really, really good. But the problem is just like, then they try to be also, you know, a PvE game in the second game. And when they started, they had some really good, you know, exploration and, you know, leveling loop that just basically died off the moment you reached max level. And that sucks. Like, that really sucked to a big degree. You're like, oh fuck, why doesn't it keep going? And again, ironically, the next expansions were more and more like, let's, you know, focus on world exploration, world and stuff like that, which is good, because that's what the old games also did, like the old MMOs, the original ones. And it was like, I think if Guild Wars actually jumped this last point and became more of a sandbox and actually committed to this whole, you can really make your own weird character. Like, for example, it's not that far off from, for example, Ragnarok Online, or, you know, Diablo 1, because in Diablo 1 you could technically also use every single weapon you find with every character class. On Ragnarok Online, it's like you can't use every weapon class with all, but you can use a very, very big variety. So you can be like, okay, dual wield magical swords with Incessant, and you're like, wait, why magical swords? Well, the sword casts, you know, a magic spell at a certain chance, so you just attack really fast. So this is, you pump up your agility stat, and you also pump up your intelligence stat. You have the mana to cast them, so you don't need to learn the spells, because you can't learn the spells as a thief, or well, assassin, and then you can just still dual wield swords that cast them for you.
Why they don't hit anything, mostly.
Mostly, but you can do it. It's a build. Or, you know, hey, clerics, they use books, but the thing is, because you don't have an auto cast thing. Like, you know, if you use a staff, you don't have an auto attack range. It's more like you walk up to an enemy and hit it with it. You could technically just pump up your strength and hit really hard with a book. And then they were like, you know what? You can find the Rosetta Stone. It's not a good book for casting, but it's a good book to hit someone on the head with. So they realized people were doing troll builds, and then added weapons to support the troll builds, which then, you know, diversified that stuff even more. And I think that's the beauty of, you know, an open sandbox system, because if you have stats that actually, you know, impact a lot of things, like, you know, not only how your character behaves in combat, but like also just a lot of other stuff, you can suddenly be like, yeah, I'm building a knight, but fuck vitality, fuck health. I'm not tanking with my health. I tank with agility, and like you just dodge everything the whole time, because your dodge stat is so high, and you can do that for every single character if you want. Now the question is it sensible with a lot of characters? Depends, because again, the character class still gives you the skill set, but then also you're like. You had stuff like, oh hey, people were building clerics, you know, with strength, because they were like, look, we have skills that give us extra damage against undead and demons. So why don't we just pick up maces and yeet them to hell? And you know what they then did? There was an option, because you played acolyte and then you became a priest, or you could be like, oh, I'm an acolyte, or become a monk, and I hit even fucking harder. So they actually were like, let's support the weird builds more. I think that's one of the things that's really fun, because again, it's about the journey of making your own weird character, which is why I have a problem with, you know, I have kind of a personal problem with Final Fantasy XIV, because, like, here's the thing. Leveling in Final Fantasy XIV is ass. It's just straight ass. Like, I don't say the game is bad. We played it. We paid money for it. We would even pay it again to see more of the story, because the story is actually really good. This is like the one MMO where we did the quests and were engaged with the story. Mm-hmm. The problem is just, especially in the beginning, it sucks ass, and I kind of hate the fact that they have this big world where they were like, let's explore, you should explore it. And then you were basically just tied to the fucking quests, because everything else is just worthless. And there, I like Guild Wars 2, because Guild Wars 2 technically has a single player story. But you can just fucking ignore it. You can just go out in the world, and it's actually perfectly fine to just ignore the whole storyline and just play with your friends from start to finish, like from base level to top level. It's really fun to do in Guild Wars 2. And
Then you're kind of out of options still.
yeah, and the thing is, the whole you can just you change your weapon, you change your class, like you change your class and weapon and stuff, and you can just have all the classes leveled in Final Fantasy 14 is, as much as people claim it's actually such an improvement. It's a band-aid, because again, leveling sucks. It just sucks. It just cuts out the fact that yeah, the base game story is like, that's the thing. I actively recommend doing that in Guild Wars 2 because it's actually more fun in my opinion. And again, that at that point it shines.
Remember when Guild Wars 2 sells itself based on the fact that you could play it single player?
That is so fucking wild to me because okay,
That's
you know what?
the reason why they called themselves not a classical MMO, by the way.
Yeah, you know
I'll
what?
mention that's part of why I liked Guild Wars 2 is because I could play it solo.
You know what? You know what I find in that sense a
Despite the
bit.
fact that I mainly played with my cousin.
I think the irony is like is that yeah, that's probably why I'm still kind of interested in the Division 2 because like I could see, you know, the thing is when I play an MMO, I kind of want to play it with people, you know, and the more an MMO supports that, and I'd say, you know, the Division 2 is ironically pretty good at that, and Guild Wars 2 is actually fantastic at that. This is why I say I kind of want to see that with Guild Wars 3 because the problem is I'm not really like, I think a lot of, you know, devs, especially MMO devs, similar to RTS devs, forgot how to actually make a good one. They forgot it, you know, some know how to, know what mechanics maybe, like they think this mechanic should be and they can present it, but like it doesn't feel the same. Like for example, with RTS, like, you know, I played Stormgate, it does not remotely feel like a good RTS. Like, it looks like one, but then you play it and it feels, Arena developing Guild Wars 3, I hope they survived that long. Yeah, and that's probably the thing where I'm like, the parts I played from the Division, and the parts I played from, Guild Wars 2 is like, those are those, like, basically the two devs I know, where I could see that they could actually pull off a more classic MMO because their games actually got some of the core source, the core feeling again. Like exploring the world in Guild Wars 2 really felt like a classic MMO again. And similarly, the Division 2 also got that because you're like, again, they had a sense of place that all the other ones didn't. All the other ones felt very artificial. They just, like, that's the thing. Others felt like set dressing. Well, in Guild Wars 2 and the Division, I at least was like, okay, this feels like a place. And so this is why I'm like, maybe. I feel everything that many MMOs are afraid of actually implementing the MMO aspect, MMORPG. Yeah, and this is kind of the irony. Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with that. PvP and World PvP should be a fixed automatic cap because that's a thing they do right, and they should keep doing that. But like an actual gear spiral would help them a lot. A gear spiral, like a gear thing, like a more varied gear setup and a more varied skill system for a PvE part and dungeoneering and stuff. Because, like,
I don't know why Spiral would be the word.
It's Spiral is more like they say, it's more a thing of, you know, you perpetually will get better gear. That's kind of a thing in MMO. But like that's more World of Warcraft and EverQuest.
Modern MMOs mostly.
But you know, even in Ragnarok Online, that's to a degree the case.
To a degree, but it's more like more unique.
It
came later with the third development team.
Yeah, the gear progression in Ragnarok Online is very different to most MMOs. Actually, it's definitely more Diablo-ish, but
even
like
less because in Diablo you hunt fixers and stuff.
Yeah, it's like I think the thing is just like I think ArenaNet is probably the one dev that could actually pull off an MMO that felt like a good like an actual MMO again with, you know, but actually if they actually put, you know, the work into making the PvE part good, because also again, I think the main thing that people don't realize is that the main inspiration, like the gameplay inspiration for World of Warcraft, were EverQuest and Diablo 1. Not Warcraft. They just took the World of Warcraft, the World of Warcraft, because it was more fleshed out. They had more characters. They had more stuff to work with there. That's how that game actually came to be. But yeah, when it comes to MMOs, yeah, this is why I looked at the Division 2 and was like, shit, you may be interested in going back to Washington DC Zap. This time, on Steam and shit, because I'd be interested in actually trying it again.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Part of the reason why I didn't play the Division 2 was because it was only on EA.
Yeah, in Ubisoft. I think this time, and it was on Ubisoft. EA actually.
Ubisoft. Yeah, it was only on the other lot. It wasn't on Steam.
Yeah, I just look at it right now because shut up. I don't want to hear that. It's VM Protect. That's a DRM, but I think. No, it's now just fully on Steam without Ubisoft?
Yeah, I mean, if you can play it on Steam without Ubisoft, I would consider it.
Yeah,
quite
because
a lot.
I just looked at
as much as I appreciate Ubisoft's attempts and efforts to do multiplayer good, I fucking hate Ubisoft Connect. Ubisoft Connect is terrible. It is so unfun, and it never remembers me. It's like Steam with the whole age verification thing.
Yeah, the only thing I'm using it is because I played XDefiant, and XDefiant is actually fun, but the best thing I can see is that this is the only game where they actually use the whole challenge and reward thing of Ubisoft Connect, and no, just put it on Steam. I will deinstall it instantly actually if I see it, but I just saw it, the whole expansions thing, it's $15. That's something. But the thing is, again, if it's fully playable on Steam, I would ditch it as well. Because it's my big problem is just I need people to play it with. Then I would definitely they would probably play it a bit more. And I mean, we're still kind of playing Metaphor right now, so it will probably be more often, maybe playing a bit on, some weekdays, evenings, or, on the weekend, but that's the thing. It's just an option for you. And, since I know at least 2 people listening are also on the Discord, it's if you also would like to join that, I would maybe even consider investing in that. But yeah. I just want to try it again, because it keeps going. It's I think in the 6th year now. That's insane. That's actually insane that this is still going. Yeah, but also I think to want to go back to the one thing about how's it called the one thing I kinda... You want me to join? You know what? If you want to join Zero Game, sure. This isn't even something I would do on stream. Maybe we could stream it, if Lena and Ruben can't play on Fridays, and we could be look, we are playing the MMO thing, the one MMO thing in Washington DC, and Zep could be look, I was there, and now I'm shooting people in it. You're the local tour guide. Yeah, I think with 3 people it would probably be a lot more fun, actually.
Now that I think about it, does the game have a Dave Thomas circle in it?
I think.
Maybe?
But well, I mean, the thing is that...
I mean, you do remember what Dave Thomas circle is, right?
I don't know fully.
Because I've talked about it on here before.
Yeah, I think.
Dave Thomas Circle is not actually a circle in the city. It is a triangle that is being renovated because it sucked. Mm-hmm. It was basically a triangle of 3 major roads, and each road is an arterial road.
Ooh, yeah, that sucks.
And in the middle of that triangle was a Wendy's.
Amazing.
So you had triangle of intersections, and in between each of those three intersections on each little short bit of road was an entrance/exit to a fast food joint.
Amazing. That sounds horrible, actually.
It was
That's
actually horrible.
It was. That
There,
sounds
there are
insanely horrible.
there are articles written about it.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can actually imagine. Holy shit. But yeah, we unlocked some of the shit for... It's more Boris. Honestly, Boris got so
okay.
much shit in this game. It's insane.
So the map, the map does not go far enough north for Dave Thomas Circle.
Well, sad. Oh well. Happens, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in general, I'd say we how's it called?
Of course, Georgetown is a dark zone.
That's the old town, right?
Yeah, it's the place that I showed you before. I actually like Georgetown.
Oh yeah,
I
right.
like it. I just don't like the people who are in it. Let's see. But if we're looking at the map of Division 2,
It's
then I would say some fun places to be in real life would be the Potomac Park area.
well.
Just anywhere that's like the National Mall.
I mean, Connor, if you want to play Black Ops 6 Zombies, you could do it alone. Or if you don't want to play alone, just give me the game and I play it with you. I would love to play Call of Duty Zombies. That's an offer. If you do that, you can just hit me up whenever you want and I will play zombies with you. That's an offer that would run for at least a few months. Except when, if girlfriend is ill, then I can't. But otherwise, it offer stands. But yeah, well, I'll have to see. It's like, again, my bigger problem is just like, there are so many, MMOs right now out there. I think MMOs are oversaturated, but also, again, most just don't grip really well. They don't get the whole thing right. And the one thing I really hate about Final Fantasy XIV is, like, again, they have a good world, they have fun combat. They really just refuse to go back and actually make like an expansion or big update to clean up their leveling and offer like an alternative leveling to their, storyline, because again, they have this band-aid of you can just, get every class with one character, and people died on that hill. They screamed at me and blocked me on Twitter because I suggested that, you know what, if they actually made leveling fun, people could make twinks, and people like twinks. By the way, Twink Smurf is like, a second character you do in MMOs, and in classic MMOs, because, you had such a big build variety, people really fucking love to do that, because, it's role-playing. You make your own characters, give them names, give them, like, a unique identity, how they behave, and... Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I get that. It's just, you want that. And, like, with the Division 2, I was like, the Division and, other stuff. I'm like, yes, I want to have, like, one or two characters that fulfill different roles, because for me, because I'm a role player, even if I could have both classes on a character, I would make two characters, because one is my, I have a shield, go in and defend my people, and the other one is the sniper, because... That's role-playing, okay? I want to have unique characters I identify with, not, oh, my character is doing everything. Fuck that. I kind of hate in 14 that, they could have made it, oh, you start with the warrior and stuff, even like, different, tank classes are just subclasses of that, or expanded classes of that. But, well... But yeah, it is such it's such a band-aid. And you know what the thing is that really turned me off about, like, it's the biggest turn off about returning to that game, is that when I brought that up, that I think, like, if you make leveling fun, as as if that was a sacrilege to even point out. More people would play it, more people would have more fun. Because it is to a degree giving up, and I would love the opposite. But also in Final Fantasy XIV, that what stuck with me was among that hate, because I said, you know what, I kind of would like to have a game where I would love to be able, because I said I would love to be able in that game to have multiple characters without it being, just a task that doesn't look like fun, which is, a reasonable thing to suggest, because again, most MMOs in history have made that possible because it's such a core experience. And you know what people said to me, to my fucking face, on Twitter? If you want a different character, you can just buy a potion and remake it. Listen. This is the shit where I sit down like, you know what, I rather bully, convince my Discord and people I know to play The Division 2, because, you know what, they actually have fun, maybe have more fun making different characters, and I would probably build my second character on my own, and I would have stuff to do, actually, because there's sometimes just a lot of downtime in my time where I don't, because like most games I play, and, because I may play most stuff on stream, or with other people, or with Agonia, so I don't really have a lot of stuff to do on my own, so I would love to have, like, actually a game where I could have a second character to play. The thing is just, if you tell me, oh yeah, no, don't think about, don't think about the fact that, having a twink in our game sucks ass. Also, it's kind of funny how, the Final Fantasy XIV has so many gay players, but it hates twinks. Anyway, it's just like, but when they come to me, it's like, no, it's not a problem. You just have to give them money. Fuck
and
you.
And lose your previous character design.
And lose my previous character design. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. You know what? I'm not going to gaslight myself into thinking that is like an actual reasonable thing to do. Like, who does that? Like, I know the same people are like, look at my at my little global I built for D&D and I made commission and artwork, but like then they just happily spent money in Final Fantasy XIV to murder their previous characters and replace them. Like, the fuck?
By the way, I have to get going, so
sure.
I'm gonna head out to have a family dinner.
Sure.
So I will talk to y'all another time.
Yeah, we have to make some plans about that, movie night, and maybe I guess.
Yeah, I'll craft up also craft up the post for the movie night stuff. I'll make the announcement in Discord later today.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. And then we can still talk about the whole The Division 2 thing, because I kind of want to try it again.
Yeah.
We'll see you then.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. And everyone, hope you had a bit of a good time and, a bit of a good distraction from, the whole thing going on with the election. Again, we had some good news, like, again, how in Iowa, women are outvoting men by 10% right now, which is holy shit. Positive news. And apparently, according to the most, reliable polling. Oh, shut up. I see what you posted on Blue Sky. Zero Game, that is not funny. It's not funny. I'm not lying, okay? What would I get out of admitting that openly, actually? Like, also, it's not true, but that's the thing, okay? It's not true. I'm not a bottom. It is not funny. I'm not a bottom, You see why? Because I'm just sitting here confidently and being like, hey, do you want to play The Division 2 with me? Or, hey, would you just buy me Black Ops 6, please, Uwu? Would a bottom say that? No, because I'm dominating, okay? Okay? I'm socially dominating. I'm not a bottom, okay? I'm not a bottom. I am not a bottom. Shut up. You're not teasing me, and I'm very normal about it. I'm not a bottom. Hulkenberg is perfect, but I'm not a bottom. Tell him I'm not a bottom. I'm talking to you, Agonia.
Since when?
I just now. I need your backup. You're my girlfriend. I'm not a bottom, right?
In which context? About what?
In general, I'm not a bottom in general.
You're social bottom.
I'm not a social bottom. Shut up. Maybe confused, but I'm not a bottom. Please buy me a game, Uwu. That's not bottom speech, okay? That's not what bottoms do. I am not a bottom. Help! Why do you tarnish my name like that? But yeah, at least we have some more positive stuff. Like apparently also, according to, like apparently, you know, the Democrats got +3 in Iowa, and
Didn't you
only
want to end for now?
yeah, I just want to wrap it up a bit about the election though, just to be a bit more upbeat, and like -5 in Kansas, which is like those are red states, by the way, red states. And in 2020, Iowa was -8 and Kansas was -15. Even if those polls are off by, ±5, you know how bad that is for the conservatives, for the Republicans in fucking red states? I hope this is a good sign. I truly hope, because I really do not want fucking Trump to win anything, but the closer we got to the election, the more it seemed like they probably alienated a lot of people. But anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you had fun. Hope you liked seeing a bit of shooty bang bang, some good talking about Christmas movies and Christmas dinners, and maybe planning a bit for video games. And I'm not the bottom. Hulkenberg is great though. You should all play Metaphor Fantasio. It's great. Hope we can all wake up tomorrow, and yeah, I'm also hopeful, but yeah, it's like we need to see when it's over. But I hope this whole stream, this whole ranting and rambling, got a bit of the anxiety away, because I think we all need that to a degree. It was a good excuse for me to play some Battlefield and finish up the event, but I truly hope it helped you a bit, because we all are just sitting here and watching. And I think the only thing we can do is really get our minds off. And we will do that now by, going back and playing more Metaphor Fantasio. And Hulkenberg is still saving our group, because it's like, oh look, I love how she gets introduced. Okay. And then the game's like, look, you can now make synergy attacks. And you're like, this is cool. You will not use this. You will use Knight's Proclamation and buff her to hell and back. This is her job now. So yeah, that's actually kind of that's actually kind of funny. Also, I mean, you know what? I never talked about it, but just want to point this out. I got weak, but I found Dante's Inferno for the Xbox 360 for $1. Like, I think I actually need to get my Xbox 360 up here one day and play some old games. See you all tomorrow for Space Marine 2. I swear this is over now. I have a disgruntled girlfriend right now. See you all tomorrow for Space Marine 2. It's fun. Yeah. Sleep well. We will get through this. It's not as bad as we hope it hopefully is. Good night. I actually meant it's not as bad as it seems it is, not as it hopefully is. My brain just fucked up. Don't think I'm doomerism here right now, okay? Okay? Good night, sleep well. It's not going to be that bad, hopefully. See you all tomorrow.